Well, none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots, yeah. None of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Children have to go back to the roots. I'm telling you now, the truth. Telling you, yeah, the truth. You have to go back to the roots. Go to the roots. Yeah, man, you know, this is Benjamin out of the Smiling Coast, West Africa, Gambia, representing for the one and only Abu, the big man you don't know, the Soninke warrior, the man that brings the truth, Soninke warrior, the sign of enlightenment, the Soninke warrior, the righteous and the true African. Abu, reveal the truth to them, you know, no matter how them try run from it, because none of them can hide from the truth, yeah. Yes, we have to dig back the roots, yeah. Fire!
Can you guys hear me now? Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me now? Let me get a 1 if you guys can hear me. All right. Thank you. I see somebody said yes. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome all of you to the Afridamus Report. Ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to have a deep dive at Pan-Africanism 101. Because you see, many of you have actually, been learning online, about people that claim to be Pan-Africanists. But if you notice, it's just a trending thing in America. Things become trendy. So these pictures that you see behind me, the reason why I put up this picture, you see Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey, Muhammad Ali, Malcolm X, and then you see the, kings and queens from, Egypt. That's the fantasy section of this whole thing. Because you see, if you think about it, when they said, let's unite with Africans, how many of you were on the streets of YouTube watching people who are, vloggers in most cases? They are vloggers. They say, okay, they want to go to Africa. But they know that in the 60s, here in the United States, there was the civil rights and there was leaders like Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. By the way, these leaders, their ideology and what they were fighting for is completely different from Marcus Garvey's. Marcus Garvey is a Jamaican that came to the United States in the early 1900s. So he has this philosophy, the idea, the Back to Africa movement. He himself, he never, made it to Africa, but he had the concept and he preached it. He had a, following. This is before YouTube, Instagram and all that. Then you fast forward, this is way back in the 1900s. He got deported, you see. So brilliant guy, right? Brilliant guy. He was a businessman too. He had his own newspaper, his own shipping liner, he had ship. So, but some people try to say he's a scammer, but there's no proof to that, okay? He was deported, quote unquote, for mail fraud. That used to be a big thing back in the early 1900s. But, with government, if you are an agitator back in those days, they can just come up with anything, any charges just to get rid of you. Who knows? There's It's more than likely that's what happened. Okay. So we moved on from him, and all the way to the 60s, black people continue, say black people were fighting for civil rights. And you must understand, even today, it's no different than yesterday, where when people stand up to fight against a regime, oppression, 9 out of 10 times, it is not the majority that partake in this. We're seeing it even today. You're hearing people say, oh, we're being oppressed in the United States, racism, white supremacy. What are they doing about it? Right? What are they doing about it besides just coming to you to try to convince you as if it's a religion that, hey, this exists. All right, thanks, bro. But these new Pan-Africanists, for instance, they like to tell you and I and Caribbeans that in the 60s, they fought for black immigrants to come to the United States. We've debunked this time and time again, but they keep repeating it, and their attitude towards the way they say it, you know, you can tell um, they would tell you that you're one and the same as them. But the moment you start bringing in logic, now you are an immigrant, you're an African. Why didn't you build your country? Why are you here? Now, pretty soon, you would think these things would be coming from a KKK person. You would think so, right? If you've never, like people who've never come to the United States, for instance, what you've been sold on TV, be honest, you would think white people are just harassing, maybe Africans in the United States. That's what you would think. But the black people would tell you, no, they would do mental gymnastics with you. Like if they say it's skin color and you said, no, that's not been my experience. Oh, they let you all Africans through. Oh, no, they give you guys this. So pretty soon, the conversation is not making sense. You see? Pretty soon, it's not making sense. But for most of you that are watching, whether you're Caribbean or African from any other place to the United States, most of you, I don't know you, but I know wholeheartedly, there is a whole lot of you that support Black Americans and you're for them and see yourself as them than they do you. And you would see this in conversations. Oh, if you live here just like me, yes, some people live close in black neighborhoods, but for the most part, many people, if you want the opportunities, as far as I know, you get close to the white areas because you see, even blacks, they go get their opportunities from whites. Nothing wrong with that, right? You have skills in whatever field, America is the place to come and sell it. Or they would say to you, oh, it is brain drain on Africa. Oh, you guys should go back to Africa. As if you, that they are talking to, you are an idiot. You don't understand what's going on. Like, I mean, they paid for you. They brought you here. They know everything about you. And they're like, hey, you just go to school. You noble African, keep your mouth shut and go back. In the meantime, the same people, you would see them making videos shamelessly demanding rights from African countries. Not only one, from country to country. You guys have heard me talk about, the automatic citizenship that Black Seed, Juliet in the Gambia brought up. And you guys know, nobody ever heard me say, no, people shouldn't be able to become citizens in African countries. No. But looking for special treatment, that's what I was pointing out. These are countries just like the United States. They might be smaller, but they are a country. And country is a concept. It's run by laws, the constitutions, and all that. Just like the United States. The United States laws might be much stronger, but it's the same. Like the United States, people come to this country different ways. Some come as investors, some come as students, visitors, workers, you name it. There's different levels. But we know that this country has a constitution that they go by. Their constitution is pretty unique. It's pretty unique. You cannot compare it to other African countries. So if someone who's born and raised here try to make the argument to you, say, why don't y'all give this to us in Africa? Hey, if you can get this in Africa, be my guest, knock yourself out, go for it. What's stopping you? But if you live in a country, if you say you're born and raised in a country and you don't even understand the country's constitution, their immigration law, you are always going to wake up in fantasy. And that's what's happened to many, and it's coming out in the form of hatred. They think they really have control over a situation that they don't. It's just the truth. Because when you say it, they say you're being divisive. But when people keep spreading lies at your expense, what are you supposed to do? That's just the beginning, okay? Let me tell you, you see, in Nazi Germany, before the Great Extermination, Hitler they didn't just get up one day and do it. It started with propaganda. What you say about the person and what the person accepts about themselves, matters quite a bit. Listen, Africans, they are coming to you, telling you we are the same, give us citizenship. But the place they come from, the moment you try to argue, now all of a sudden they are red-blooded KKK Americans. Isn't this the truth? That's the truth, ladies and gentlemen. I'm just pointing it out. And I have told you guys in the past, there are some people who are your favorites. You think they are your favorites. But these people are, in fact, they have the ADOS, FBA mentality. Because all this Pan-Africanist thing is a hustle. You can see how Tariq, he is at the top of the food chain. He's good at it. He can, mimic all of it. He can be a Pan-Africanist, right? He can be a FBA. He can be a HOTEP. He's done it all. But what they are selling to you, you're thinking, oh, when you see a Black American who's saying these things, you think, oh man, these people are really like about that Malcolm X thing ideology. No, it's a hustle. Now they don't even have to learn it. Now all you got to do is go to Africa, set up your YouTube channel, start recording and then ask for donations. That's a thing. Or, before you conquer somebody, you have to do it mentally. It starts with mental. You, the African or Caribbean, when you travel to America, you follow the Constitution, you naturalize, which gives you the right of citizenship. It gives you the right to vote, which means you now have the right to participate in the politics. So, if you allow somebody to tell you your citizenship now is less than theirs, it doesn't matter whether they are black, white, green, you give them the middle finger. And you got people telling you they are one and the same as you, but they are sitting right in front of you, talking to you to make you feel less than them. Less than. And then the next minute they turn around. They're the biggest Pan-Africanist invading maybe your country. They can walk through. Now all of a sudden they become an expert, African expert. So what's worst? You just visiting a country, speaking on it, nobody's telling you you don't have the right, versus an individual who lives in a country and earn the citizenship there, and they speak, you have issues with it, but as a visitor, you give yourself that right. In fact, requesting things. That's hypocrisy. And you're dealing with a whole bunch of hypocrites. Are there people who are true? Absolutely. And I do have a video of a young man also that I would follow with, who, in fact, is not talking Pan-Africanism. He's an investor. And you would hear how an investor sound versus just a mere hustler. A mere hustler. Many of these people have become what they hated. They talk about past white supremacy, but they've become the people they resent. It's all in their speech. Many of you, the video I'm about to play here, the individual you're going to see here, it won't shock you guys. It won't shock most of you. This individual pretends to be the friend of Africans, but anytime he gets the opportunity, what does he do? Even when Africans come on his show, watch what he does. Or a Caribbean, if they disagree with him, they become American all of a sudden. But when it comes to this Pan-Africanists, they cannot operate without African panderers on their side. It's a whole playbook. You are pushing the ideas of hate towards yourself. Do you understand the ramification here? Do you understand what type of, how do you understand the words this individual is using in the same sentence as you? This is dangerous. It's not good for you. It's not good. But there's always the African panderer. And you guys, look, I'm going to play it and you guys are going to see what country the panderer originated from. I mean, it never fails. It never fails. But before I play this video, as usual, I'm going to take you guys into a short intermission and bring the video that I'm going to be talking about.
Baby girl love my bop and unlike me too. No roof on my top and my babe see-through. Hating on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I been all on my grind, so why I need you? Baby girl love my bop and unlike me too. No roof on my top and my babe see-through. Hating on the pen, don't stop, shit ain't gon' feed you. I been all on my grind, so why I need you? Big flex, my swole up. Double cup and I'm pulled up. Niggas hating like hold up. What's the problem? I'm pulled up. Big flex, my swole up. Hard body, they fold.
All right, I'm back. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to play this short video. Brace yourself, and I'm going to break it down. I'll point out the hypocrisy. And I have touched on this same topic from this same individual. But you see, Africans and others, you have to know, especially Africans, you have to see how you're being played. If the person is showing you exactly who they are, don't joke about it. I understand sometimes you guys think that things are entertaining. Oh, this is silly. But when a person keeps repeating the same thing over and over, when it comes to you, take it serious. Take it serious. In America, there's no such thing as somebody coming to you, to say, like imposing themselves saying, oh, we are the gatekeepers to teach you about what white supremacy is. Come on, that doesn't happen in real life. It goes by the Constitution. You don't talk to the person if you don't feel like it. Have you ever seen these people who claim to say, White supremacy is their enemy. Have you ever seen them talking to white people that way? Or better yet, what type of tactics do they use even against, quote unquote, their own Black American brothers and sisters? They say, oh, America is dangerous. America is dangerous. You guys should, leave. So they're scaring those, using scare tactics. But you in Africa, they tell you, oh no, just, sit your ass in Africa. You don't have the right to leave. Or the Caribbean. I don't want to keep you waiting. Let me play this video and analyze it quick.
I don't live there. I'm not registered there to vote.
But I mean, that's where you're from. Like, why aren't you making the country great?
That makes no sense. Where are you from?
I'm from Sacramento, California.
What your ass doing in Georgia?
I'm still in America. I moved to Georgia.
Well, no. See, that's a FBA talking point. Y'all like to say people run, right? But y'all ran your ass out of the South and go all over the place. Y'all think it's okay to run where it's feasible for you,
right. Okay.
because you feel like
let me ask you a
but when
question.
someone else asks you the same question, but I'm here.
Black Americans.
Okay, I answer. No. Hold on, Kyla. Hold on. I came to Georgia because of opportunity. I left California.
Okay, and what? It's just because you liked it.
Yeah, I came with opportunity. There's more opportunity in Georgia. That's why I came.
Okay, so if this is Search for Uhuru, Dinus Amir, having a conversation with a guy that came on his show. So it's a Pan-African space, right? But the conversation, even these people that claim to be Pan-Africans, when it comes to politics, American politics, pretty soon is going to change. It's going to flip, right? And that's what happened, as usual, right? So Dinus is questioning this man because he disagrees with him, but he's an American citizen, right? So now he's saying, why are you talking about American politics? And, you don't go do that in your country and make it great. He answered him right. He said, because I'm not registered to vote there. This is where I'm registered to vote, which makes sense. So, but to Dinus, no, that doesn't make sense because, you know what? That should make more sense to him than anyone because he's the one running around Africa trying to collect passports, calling himself a prince. We're seeing this. Isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth, people? But he never fails to say the thing that he is saying here when it comes to you. They want to dictate to you where you can go or not. They want to decide for you. But I'll let him tell you in his own voice.
Thank you very much. Same question right back at you. Okay. And I think I explained this on Brandon's channel. So maybe I'll educate ignorant ass Kala over here because he has a very ignorant American mindset that makes other Americans look bad, right? It's also guilty of Americans because Americans feel that America is the best place on earth in every aspect, right? What he's saying, you come here because it's the best. I'll tell you my story as to why how I got here.
So, those of you that probably watch me in Africa or from outside of America, those are in Africa. Those you think you're gonna come here, you're watching these YouTubers, you think, oh, it's all fine and dandy, is Pan-Africanism, just like they are roaming around in Africa. They wish the same thing for you also to be able to have the privilege and means to be able to come to America and take advantage of the opportunities. No, that's not how they're thinking. It's a one-way street. So that's Dinus and Kala, the guy that, who presents himself as a Liberian native. So you can come to Africa and say you're an African, and the Africans should accept it. But an African who, even though you have no proof legally to say you're part of those countries, but an African or Caribbean who came to America, who can legally prove that they are American citizen through the Constitution, you don't respect that, but you want me to respect your endeavors. This is Africans. I'm pointing things out to you that you should see. The white man is not your big problem. I'm just telling you. This type of conversation you're not going to get from white people. I hope you know this. A white man is not going to tell me what this man is about to say. I'm just telling you the truth. I know people don't want to hear it, but it's the fact. I don't know what part of America you live in, but for the most part, you're the black immigrant. Who would you hear such questions from? The white man? Oh, you're quote unquote Pan-African. And not all. I know some Pan-Africanists who are cool, not all. But the ones that say they are staunch Pan-Africanists, they want to carry the black people to Africa. They want to carry black Americans to Africa. But they don't like you. Just saying.
But guys, can I get a word in edgewise? Can I get a word in edgewise, right? This is a problem right here. I want to help my brother.
No, but hold on. But this is the problem. And I said this before. All right, you can't be an arrogant immigrant in a foreign country when your home country's on fire. That's just my point. Black.
Yeah, this is our business.
So you notice they're going to gang up on him as usual, right? So he's saying he's arrogant. Africans and Caribbeans. What's been the most common phrases used when you're dealing with, for the most part, most of these FBA mentality types? Everyone seems to be very, very sensitive, and you guys walk on eggshells. If you disagree, it means you are arrogant, or you hate them, you are joining white supremacy. So everybody is wrong in what they are saying. They are the only ones that are correct. And they are the only ones, they are the most loving people. Everybody else looks at them and tries to hurt them. They've never done anything wrong. Everything they think is straight. Or they would say, oh, you're jealous of them. You know, those are the common phrases. But I would think going to a country and demanding citizenship, automatic citizenship, there's nothing more arrogant than that. You're like, hey, F your constitution. Despite you seeing African presidents trying to mess with constitutions and they get toppled. No, you know what? Do it for me. I want to be treated special. Now, that's arrogant. There's nothing more arrogant than that. If I disagree with you, it doesn't mean I don't like you. If I disagree with you, it doesn't mean I'm arrogant. If I disagree with you, it doesn't mean I'm jealous of you. There's nothing to be jealous of. But the panderer, he is fine. He is about to come.
That's the point I don't understand. Like,
and also,
like
or they would say China is taking over. The Chinese are one of the biggest investors here in America. Isn't that ironic? So the only time one starts crying is when they are losing a game, or pointing at, oh, look at that person, they are winning. The Chinese are doing their thing. I'm doing my thing. I'm not worried about the Chinese. Okay? So I don't know what you're talking about. You're the one that is worried about the Chinese. I'm not. I'm not.
Immigrant,
Because you don't understand, because being as ignorant and arrogant as you are, you can't understand when someone is trying to make sense. So if you always concentrated on trying to get a win, everything blows right past you. So basically y'all just talk that Pan-African stuff just to look good, but
see, that's what I'm. This is what we're talking about.
Y'all faker than a $5 bill. Because
he called it out. They used the cloak of Pan-Africanism so they can enter Africa to look good. Okay? He nailed it. He said they're as fake as a $5 bill. $5 bill is not fake, it's real. I know what he was trying to say. You're as fake as a $3 bill. If you ever see $3 bill, know that it's fake. It's not real. Okay? So that's besides the point. But that's the same. He pointed out they are hiding behind that word Pan-Africanism. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, anytime somebody is bringing you their ideology and you want to conversate and question them and they start using shaming tactics, know that it's a scamming game. I mean, because watch the guy, his whole stake is, it doesn't have to be about you. Okay? Look at the messages, even when he's talking to the Black Americans who say, we don't want to go to Africa. America is our home. Look at the shaming tactics he uses on them because those people disagree with his idea. If you watch the show, you will see it. So what makes you think you are any different? You would have to pander if you do not want to get the, the scamming techniques, thrown your way. There's no way for you to, it makes no sense to have a YouTube channel and not want people and not expect people to disagree, especially if you're talking about real life stuff. Oh no, people are going to call things out if they are not true. They will. But using that white supremacy tactics on people, it's not going to work.
You do what Tariq Nasheed does.
No.
Anyone that has any common sense and have ears can see that. I did not once attack any one of you because I don't know if you're American. I don't care if you're African. I don't know. I don't care. We all black. But there you go. You guys gotta put a wedge. Where you from?
I said this before.
Where you from?
Black critique. Black critique. I've been very, I've said plenty of times. I got this from Booker T. Washington. Immigrants should come to America, learn the skills, and then go back and build their countries. I don't see why is that a problem?
Is this the 1800s? I'm sorry.
Great question. Where's Booker T. Washington now? This is not the 1800s. He's been dead long and gone. Hey, if you believe in the Booker T. Washington, ideology, hey, by all means, you can practice it. But if you believe in that, why are you trying to collect passports in Africa? You see, Africa, this is the thing. This is the reason why people take African countries as a joke. This is the reason. Because someone comes in, they say, oh, I'm a descendant of slave. And now all of a sudden, the laws are out the door. Okay? You go and switch that. Yes, it's going to favor the person, but deep down, you're like, oh, these African countries are as corrupt as the white man told us. We can pretend not to believe the white man, but if you allow them to talk long enough, you start hearing the white man. And there's nothing wrong. Look, you guys know everybody's welcome here. I don't do that hypocrite stuff to say, when someone speaks the truth, I start question, oh, what's his skin color? Only a devil would do that. It's either the person is speaking the truth or they're not. If they are lying, their skin color don't matter. If they're telling the truth, the skin color shouldn't matter either. But the guy, he's right. They are Pan-Africanists, and now when they want to take the guy down, they are Americans. They are Americans. You guys remember what I told you? Identity that flip-flops. You can't trust it. The guy thought he was on a Pan-Africanist channel because that's the message that's usually being conveyed. But the moment he disagrees, they became American. But I thought you hated America. You want the other blacks to leave America behind. Do not allow people to blind you with skin color. It's a lazy form of doing things. It makes no sense. It makes no sense, people. Pay attention to what they're trying to sell you. In America, if you want to know who is doing what, look, from any problem, look at who is benefiting. Don't look at who is suffering. Look at who is benefiting from it. Then you will know who the perpetrator is and what the game is. It's all about money. That's what it is, period. The whole talking point is to make black people, convince them here that America is a bad place. But in the same breath, the same guy, when it comes to quote unquote black immigrant, now all of a sudden he is a staunch American. What a hypocrite.
But I don't understand why somebody would not want to make their home.
I was trying to. Wow. Now this is the American.
Oh, FBA Niger. I got Cincinnati. I like underdogs. I like Cincinnati.
American Africans. You guys don't own shit. You don't have anything, right? You're trying to aggregate your stuff to get something, to have some type of political or economic independence away from white people. But y'all love white people so much, right? That y'all don't. And this is where you a fucking hypocrite, right? You want to go to Africa.
Did you see? The guy is calling him out. What a hypocrite he is. A proud Eritrean. You're right. Who say, oh yeah, we should speak Swahili, but yes, go off on you in English. Good luck with that. Okay. So the guy is pointing out the hypocrisy. And you have to take hypocrites serious. You have to take hypocrites serious because it could be detrimental to your life, to your sanity. If you involve yourself with hypocrites, it's not going to end well for you. That's just the truth. There is no standard. The man is not holding himself to any standard. He can just change, just like a chameleon. He can just come from the, tree that is, the leaves are yellow, was yellow. As soon as he entered the green leaves, it becomes green. You can't trust that.
You want to do business in Africa, right? But then you want to talk down on people that come here when they try to link up, right? So that's the hypocritical thing about you.
We can link
No,
up.
there's no linking up. So I can ask you the same question. You should stay in America and make America good. You guys don't even have your own car company. Dr. Clark says when black people can't even, you got the Nation of Islam, you got all these people going around the Nation of Islam and Farrakhan, right? And what has the Nation of Islam done in 60 years? Dr. Clark, an American, says y'all don't even make your own underwear.
Bro, that's
he said, you get Farrakhan right now with all that money.
The guy is bringing good points. The guy is bringing good points. So when you challenge and bring these points, people are going to say, oh, you're rude, you're disrespectful. But is the guy being rude disrespectful, or bring in facts, because you know the Pan-Africanists believe in facts. So we are just stating facts. So when you're telling this guy, go build Africa or his country whatsoever, he said he's here for the opportunities, but yes, you're pushing. He's like, okay, if you believe in this, why don't you make yourself great here? Why go to Africa? Because you're going to Africa for business. At least in African countries, most of them make their own underwear. They make underwear in them. In Nigeria, several countries, even in Gambia. It might not be, for some, it might not be a large scale thing, but believe it or not, when I was growing up in Gambia and in Sierra Leone, I didn't use a lot of Western goods. Everything is from there, local. My food, soap, everything. Plastic, we used to have all those. So when people are, speaking in their delusional state, comparing a first world country to a third world, you've lost the game. If you're from the first world and you're comparing yourself to the third world, you've completely lost. You've lost the game. You're supposed to win. You're in the first world. But you said the white man kicked you out of America. The white man is evil. They didn't give you anything. But when you want to argue with an African or black immigrant, you start naming off the white man's achievements. We have nukes. No, you don't. The white people do. Oh, we own GM. No, you don't. The white people do. Oh, NASA. No, but yeah, as an American, sure. So that's why it would be hard for a person in America to separate themselves, to say, oh, I'm standing here based in skin color, because you're not gonna beat the white man. So that's why I say this skin color thing doesn't make sense. You see how quickly it disappears? There's another underlying reality, and that's what you're seeing. Lies, lies, lies.
That you guys are getting, and at least make a car industry. Do something like that. Nigeria has a car industry.
No, okay, I'm Nigerian, so don't use us to like do that.
Did you hear the Nigerian panderer? Did you see what happened? He was there. He was quiet the whole time. But the moment the guy pointed out, which is fact, he said, Nigeria have car industry. They've had that a long time ago. They used to assemble Peugeots in Nigeria. And they distributed all around West Africa. Like, that's nothing new. So the guy's like, yeah, they do have car manufacturing industry in Nigeria, which is true. He's like, at least, yeah, you might say whip up, but Nigeria has it. But the Nigerian panderer, did you guys remember I told you, this Pan-Africanist, for you, the African, to connect with most of these people, you have to be the panderer. That's all they need you for, nothing else. Nothing else. So the Nigerian, this guy was born in the United States. He's a Nigerian American. He jumps in to try to invalidate the man's point. He jumps in like he won a pat on the head from his Pan-African master. Some of you second generation Africans or Caribbeans, I don't know what's wrong with you guys. Please just sit back. Some of you are awake, but most of you do this stuff. And I don't want to put this on just you, but some Africans do this a lot. Just kick back, and watch what is happening. Pay attention. Truth is truth. It doesn't matter who is saying it.
I'm not talking. No, I'm not talking to you. I'm making a point. I'm not using anybody.
You're
I'm
using
saying what the
Nigerian
facts is.
achievement to disrespect Black Americans.
No, I'm not doing that. And if you're not, if you're Nigerian, what did I say to disrespect Black Americans? Because now you just straight up capping.
Well, you're talking about how
the Nigerians have done it again. They have done it again. That's why when I drop this line, Nigerians, you better make sure you call in again and speak to this man's pandering. This is a no-no.
Black Americans only have a car company.
Black Chick, I don't understand why.
No. I'm saying Dinah just said, made an assertion that my country's all messed up, so I left my country like that. So that's an attack. But your ass was quiet then. So I'm gonna say right back at you.
It probably is.
At least,
come on, we all know what it is.
We all know what is.
We, as someone who comes from an immigrant family, we left Guyana, Nigeria to come to America for better opportunities. Yeah.
Thank you.
So why didn't you jump and chime in and say that? And even the diners that's doing it, he already knows the deal. He knows this. You think he would go and ask a Vietnamese person the same question? A Russian? Do you think, mind you, the guy he's talking to barely has an accent. So there's no way he would say this to ask him this, right? Walk up to him and say this. If the guy doesn't tell you he's from Guyana, you wouldn't even know from his accent. But he sees many Hispanics. He sees many of them. How come he doesn't ask them? Because he knows why people are here. So for me, if anyone asks me that question, I'll just look at you like you're silly. Okay? It's a silly question. Especially if it's coming from a Pan-African who says they want to connect all Black people and connect with Africa and become prince or receive passports. And some of them, it never fails. You see them even in the chat. Oh, go fix up your country. Don't worry. I am already doing that. Somebody else would take up where I left off at. So don't worry about that. Asking people questions that you should be doing for yourself. Because Dinah's forgot that we listen to his shows. So what he says to Black America, if this is what he truly believes, he could have just said, hey, let's stay here and make our Black American section great again. But he only believes in this for you. And it comes from a place of hatred. Plain and simple.
Because our
but he's not. So Dinus, why don't you direct that question to that guy? Why don't he take? Why he needs to take his behind back to Nigeria? Does he vote in Nigeria? Does he go to Nigeria?
Dinus doesn't have to go to Nigeria.
No, I didn't say that. I said the other brother, because he's an immigrant from Nigeria. So the same question you asking me, you don't pose to him.
Oh no, I'm gonna tell you why. Can I tell you why?
You guys are fake. Your guys are fake. You're fake hypocrites.
Can I? I'm gonna tell you why. Like I said, and I said this. You missed the statement. You can't be an arrogant immigrant in a.
So who gets to decide what the arrogance is in this context? So this is what I'm trying to point out to you. Do not allow people to bring you in a conversation and put you in the defensive when they are using words like that. So you can pull yourself out. He is being arrogant to try to insert dominance over this man. So he thinks if he say, oh, why don't you go fix your country? The guy is like thinking, first of all, if you come to America, you naturalize, you become a citizen, you have the right to vote, Okay? You can speak on politics because guess what? At the end of the day, I blame that guy even wasting his time. I do not waste my time arguing with anyone about politics like that. I don't do that because guess what? I have the power to vote for whoever I want. You can do the same. There are people, America is a funny place, ladies and gentlemen. See, anything that can be given to you can be taken. The government is who decides who becomes a citizen. You could be born and raised in America and become a second class citizen. Someone comes here, naturalized, they are a first class citizen. I see it all the time. Felons cannot vote, even if they are born in America. If you're born in America and you have felony, you cannot vote, you're a second class citizen. You cannot even make arguments. So it tells you the nature of the country. It's about business. Government controls that. Government controls that. If you just think about that, you have a felony. I mean, you went to prison, you are out. Now you're free. You've served your time. I think you should be able to vote. Your rights as a citizen should be restored. But I'm giving you that as an example to show how the dynamics of America work. That's why people come to America, because you can have that power. Felons, not only and they allowed to vote, even federal benefits, housing, they cannot get. They cannot get. They are out of the conversation. It would take years to fight to restore that. So these guys are not, talking about realities of what people, some real Americans face, because they say it's blackness. There are lots of blacks who are facing that, born and raised here, but they have felonies. They can't vote. They can't vote. So that's why when I hear these people say, "Oh, we're gonna go vote for Trump," hey, enjoy yourself. Two old white men. So you are pissed off because somebody voted for the other old white man because they didn't vote for your white man, right? So now you're pissed off. So all these things, people, if it doesn't make sense, point it out. I've had that conversation with someone before. He said, "Oh, would you vote for Trump?" I said, "Absolutely." "Oh man, aren't you black?" Blah blah blah. I said, "I guess I'm not." Because Biden is in these people's head, people that believe in that. Oh, if I don't vote for him, I'm not black. So this is what the conversation was about. Biden versus Trump. Although the guy who is quote unquote the immigrant, black immigrant, he has the democratic mentality. He's on that plantation, but he has the right to be that way. They also have the right to have their opinion. That's what life is about. But you're mad because I didn't vote for your old white man. This is what black people are fighting over. Oh, because I hate that other white man because he says stuff that pisses me off. But the other one that's going to give us crack pipes, support that person. But if you don't support that person, guess what? You are a coon. You are a coon. And I know many of you don't speak because they use stupid words like that, and you fall for it. To me, when they call you that, it means you're telling the truth. The people that tell the truth, those are the people they call that. Plain and simple. Why would I argue with people who even claims saying that they don't vote in America? Bye. Go vote in Sierra Leone. Okay? I can vote in America. I would discuss this with people who have the right to vote. Even if you're born here and you became a second-class citizen, you lose your privilege, you cannot vote, you and I are not going to discuss voting because it makes no sense. for us to discuss it, because you cannot vote. So Dynasty is telling a man who has the right to vote to shut up about politics. If not, he is arrogant because the guy disagrees with him. Oh, the guy should go back to Guyana and make Guyana great. From a Pan-Africanist. Way to go.
Foreign country when your country's on fire. Caesar's not arrogant. You are.
So because I don't agree with you politically, I'm arrogant and I need to shut up.
No, you don't need to shut up. You sound like you sound like an emotional fool. That's what you sound like right now.
Okay, and you guys sound like white ass kissing motherfuckers, but that's how you are politically. And I disagree with that. But I don't attack you personally. And what you're doing is attacking me personally, and you guys are turning the tables to make it seem that I'm the one that's doing it.
And I'm glad the guy caught it. This is why people, you have to, don't get angry and be emotional because you're going to lose your point. They try to flip the conversation on him. That's what they're trying to do. To make him feel like, he is wrong. He's just being delusional. What he's observing, is not true. He's just imagining it. Oh, another, better yet, their favorite one is, if you disagree, you don't understand us, you don't understand America. But the same individual would tell you they went to Africa, cruising through the state couple weeks, come back, they know Africans. Despite not knowing the language, they are experts. But you, living in America, and black people are just like anybody else, no different. They don't have two heads. They have one head. They are not 10 feet tall. I'm yet to see one. They are just like everybody else. 2 eyes, 2 arms, 2 legs. Human beings, right? Different language. Common sense, you're around people. You are going to, if you have sense, you will be able to learn about them. But just because you don't like what I'm seeing and pointing out, now all of a sudden, oh no, you don't know me. You don't know me. Like, yeah. Why are you hollering then? If what I'm saying is not true, engage the point. But that's another tactic they use. They will tell you, you don't know them. You could be in America 50 million years. Like I saw a video, there's a YouTuber that's in one of the West African countries there. They made a video. They didn't say my name, but they pointed it out because I'm the only one the African that do YouTube and talk about being proud of being American. So they have an issue with me saying I'm American. He thinks he's American. But you're in Africa saying you are African. I can say the same thing. And you're calling yourself African and being a citizen of that country, you don't even have papers in that country. You're just a foreigner there. But you call yourself African. I didn't question you. But I have a legal passport, legal citizenship like you. But you are upset me referring to myself as something that I am. I get it. When I say I'm American, I'm not telling you I'm white or I'm all of a sudden changed to something else. Those of you that have sense, you know what I'm saying. Just like he himself collecting those African passports will not all of a sudden make him an African, in the sense that they try to judge you when it comes to being an American.
And like I have no self-respect. At the end of the day, I'm gonna lash back. You know what I'm saying? I only got 4 cheeks. And y'all keep saying a lot of
Yes, FBA Nigel. Thank you for dropping that. Yes.
Stupid foul shit. and then I'm just supposed to sit there and take it? Fuck all of y'all on the panel if that's what you think. It's not going to work like that. The same question you asked me about why in the country like that, you don't go, you don't ask Nigerians and other continental Africans. Why? Because you're in your feelings.
I do too. I ask them the area one.
And am I okay? Let me ask you, and I have to go. I have to go soon. I have to go soon, and I'm glad I have to go soon because this is not getting nowhere. Let me ask you.
Well, because you're getting your ass.
Look, in these conversations, Africans, what we're seeing more and more, can you rely on a Nigerian on the panel not to turn on you? I mean, can you? I mean, I don't know. This is this is crazy, but we see it over and over. It's a pattern. So I don't know, what is up with that.
You get stopped on
what?
it, man.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, okay. With your baby boots. You stopping me with baby boots. Give me a break. Anyway,
the thing is this.
So,
the thing is this.
I'm gonna have to go anyway.
Pan-Africans.
I'm gonna have to go anyway very soon.
He called us fake Pan-Africans, right?
Yes, you are, because yes, you are.
We're here.
You are.
We're here in America.
You're attacking. I did not want to attack you from where you.
So that's Scholar, the guy that thinks he's Liberian, the one that tells Black Americans they are just losers in America. They're going to get killed by the police. They're not gonna get anything. So Africa is the answer. So now he became American. Listen to what he's about to say.
From where you are.
First of all, I probably know more Nigerians.
That's who you are right now.
I have more African. I have more African.
I
don't care. This racist.
One mic. Y'all muted. One mic. I'm not attacking you. I just asked where you're from. You say you're from Guyana. I was asking you how involved are you there in the politics of Guyana? Go make Guyana great. And listen.
And the guy said he wasn't involved because he's voting here in America. So he's about to tell him to go make Guyana great. But before you go make Africa great, he should make Black America here great. So the guy is contradicting himself.
And there's a book.
And what was the purpose of that if we're having a conversation on politics?
No, but because again, I just don't understand personally. Okay, here we go. All right, this is where I'm coming with it. Me personally, okay, Black immigrants have their own Black land and Black countries. Okay, there's a reason why they are leaving those countries to damn near risk their lives to go to Europe and come to America. So I'm just saying,
I didn't risk my life to came here. I came on a plane that came.
You hear always the condescending tone. They would say, oh, you flee, oh, you risk your life. No, player, while you were hanging out in the hood, not knowing about the world, you think Africans are sleeping? No, I got the visa, paid for my ticket, hopped on the plane and flew in. Nobody is risking their life. Look through the southern border. Who are the majority? But this is how they are talking to you. But yet they would say, oh, you don't respect us, while they are disrespecting you to your face. So he wants to point out the plight of the people that are, taking, the back roads, the risky ways. But the same people will pretend to be like, oh man, well, for our Black brothers, you catch them in the Pan-Africanist talk, right? But when you get them, you speak the truth, their true nature comes out. So he wants to shame the guy, implying every immigrant, risk their life. So that's just his myopic thinking. That's how he thinks. Oh, God forbid that a Black immigrant is able to get an American visa and pay for their ticket safely and fly in. God forbid the white man invites Black immigrants to come here peacefully. So he's saying everybody every other race, because you know lighter races are worshipped in America by people like him. So every other race, it's normal for them to come to America. But what he's saying to you, you do not have that right. You should not take advantage of what America is extending to you. So now you see, if Blackistan really existed, if Blackistan existed in America, do you think, you as a Black immigrant, you would be welcome there? I think you're getting your answer here. Make what you make out of that. There's tons of white immigrants here in America, but they're oblivious to these people. But anyways.
To New York.
God damn, shut up, bro. Just be quiet. Just shut up.
Exactly, Audrey. White immigrants or Chinese immigrants don't have their own country. It's only the Black immigrants. Only the Black immigrants have their own countries. So the Latinos don't. So therefore, it's only Black immigrants with their own countries, and they better stay their Black asses in their countries. Because you see, you guys don't, come in here bringing all that, Black immigrant, behavior in our beautiful first world country, getting in between us and our white masters. You see, you guys are trying to replace us. This is why we don't like you. Just say it. You can hear it. So much vitriol towards the man. Let's just call it what it is. And this is not all Black people, by the way. If it doesn't apply, let it fly. But those of you that think this way, I want you to pay close attention. We are onto you, and we are pointing it out. Take it how you want.
Shut up. All right, so the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah, I'm going to shut up.
The amount of energy and emotionalism, that a lot of immigrants have when it comes to participating in the system here in America, I'm like, damn, if you were this passionate and use this energy to participate in your systems back home, the countries will be better. That's the part I don't understand.
Johnny, it's 20 years ago, right?
That's the point. That's the point I don't understand. I'm like, God dang, he's been going on and on and on and on about
right. And this is not.
I'm not done yet. He's been going on and on and on and on about politics here in America. I'm like, God damn, what about the politics in his home country? I just never understood that immigrant mindset. Like,
he doesn't just understand that immigrant mindset. So they're gonna keep putting emphasis on that word, the immigrant. That is his way of demeaning the man, right? But you see, when I called out those refugees for really being refugees on the title, some people got offended by that, even though I'm calling it for exactly what it is. So, Black immigrant, this is what you will deal with. You're seeing it right in front of you. So those who say, oh, the Africans don't link up with us, well, this is your mindset at work. They like to say it's the Africans who started. I don't know what the Africans started. Nobody can articulate it. It's just a fantasy to say, oh, I saw one African, he looked at me a certain way. Oh, he hates me. How do you know? Are you in that person's mind? You guys remember yesterday the video that I was playing, the one that was begging in South Africa about trying to get land reparation? In the conversation, they keep saying, "Oh, we don't hate continentals or whatever." Why even bring up hate if that's not in your heart? Why keep repeating it? Or when somebody disagree, like if you disagree with me, my go-to wouldn't be, "Oh, you hate me," or "You're jealous." I'm just like, well, I mean, they just disagree with what I say. That's all. I'm not gonna be like, oh, if you say something about Gambia or Africa, I'm not going to be like, you are hating if it's the truth. Or you're disrespecting the people if it's the truth. I wouldn't say that. But you cannot tell us when, we're watching you on the streets of YouTube every night, you're talking about how black people don't have anything in America. White people are killing them. Black people are poor, destitute. They should come to Africa. You're saying this yourself. This is not African saying it. But now, when you're in a debate with African, you guys want to flip it. Now, all of a sudden, you guys own all the industries in America. That doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense. Which one is it? Just make up your mind.
Look,
Right.
we got Nigeria, we got Sierra Leone, we got Guyana, we got Jamaica. People complain about how they had to leave their country to come to America for opportunities, and I'm like, damn, the amount of energy that you're putting right here into the American political system and just the system in general. If you were to put that same energy back home, dude, your future generations would not have to leave their country to come to the West. And that's the point I never understood.
AC Blogs, you said it best. AC Blog said, Afridamos, it's funny how the Nigerian is quiet, waiting to tackle and pander when the ball is thrown to the Nigerian prince. Man, you nailed it. You nailed it.
That's why when Booker T. Washington said in The Making of a Pan-African by Sister Tyreen Wright, he said Booker T. Washington had the Tuskegee, I forgot the name of the program. Basically what he would do, he would invite Africans over to Tuskegee, train them on the skills on how to.
Booker T, this is in the 1800s. He's no longer alive. The man is talking as if Booker T is alive. Okay? So, African, don't worry. You cannot think for yourself. You cannot do things on your free will. The Pan-African, the American Black, who identifies as Pan-African, got you. They got the plan for you. All you need to do, bring your Black ass to America. Don't even deviate from the path of school. We'll go to Tuskegee, okay? Once you finish, we would load you on that bus, drive you to the airport. You take your Black ass back to Africa. Do you guys see the arrogance here? This man is talking about people who are completely independent of him. He knows nothing about them. But he is using the idea of, Booker T. Washington. What's stopping Black people from implementing Booker T. Washington's, way of thinking in America? Don't you think Black people, if they mastered it and showed the world and it works out, people are going to copy it? Plain and simple. So when people say they copy America, you hear somebody speak, oh, you copy us. No. People copy things that advance them, the technology and all. That's what people copy from America. But other than that, most other things, it's a no. But this is very arrogant. If you cannot see it, I can see it plain and simple.
Be self-sufficient and say, look, you are going to go back to your country and build up your country. I don't understand why they're so offended about that.
And also, Dinus, most of the African leaders, post World War II leaders, were educated in the United States.
They know everything about Africa. So here comes the flat out lie. Here comes the flat out lie. Okay, if African countries are colonized by Europeans, okay, European countries, majority of these are French, some of, you have some Portuguese, but you have English too, mixture. Why would, if your country, you're going to be adopting French, You're colonized by French. You want to understand French people? Why would you come to the United States? You wouldn't. Very few did during that time. Those leaders. Kwame Nkrumah, he did go to school here and in England, but he was never part of any black movement. Read his biography and see who inspired him. The person is not even black. Kwame Nkrumah liked Lenin, the first president of India. Those people, they have socialist Marxist thinking. So that's what he was into. Socialism. The idea of one Africa, he's modeling it through, he tried to model it through the communist way of thinking. Because you have to bring people to think alike, to control them. That's why here in America, it's so much easier for the government to control the people. You would hear people say freedom, but they think they are free. But many, they are not. Look at what is happening in Canada. In fact, I'm going to touch on that in another show. But he is showing his ethnocentric American way of thinking, hiding behind Pan-Africanism. He is arrogant.
The thing that they will go back, like Kwame Nkrumah, Cecil Dennis, and Nnamdi Azikiwe of Nigeria. These guys were educated in America and whatnot, and they basically went back and built their country. Thurgood Marshall wrote the Kenyan Constitution. That's what the spirit of Pan-Africanism.
He said, who did, you know this? So African, mind you, these countries were colonized by white Europeans. White Europeans. The African countries were brokering deals. Their grievances was with the white Europeans. But somehow he was able to push in to make it seem like some black American came and brokered and add something to the national anthem in some country. So what is the reason for this type of stories? What is the reason? The stories are not true. So why do you Africans, when even people are telling these lies in the name of Pan-Africanism, it's a lie? Or if you don't know, why don't you look it up? How come you don't challenge it? That's how the foundation kept getting built on lies. The guy just said it like it's second nature. Like it's second nature, as if the Africans were just incapable, So it was, ex-slaves that came and freed the Africans. That's the picture they are trying to paint for you. So one time I swear I heard one man said, oh yeah, when Kwame Nkrumah came to school in the United States, he was hanging out with Malcolm X and stuff like that. I was like, really? What year was Kwame Nkrumah in school? Look at when Ghana had their independence. Malcolm X did not. He was probably in prison still living the other life. His activism and what he was known for hasn't started. So if he was still in the other life, selling dope, being the pimp, because he used to be that, there was no way Kwame Nkrumah would have known him. But they try to paint it that way. It's not even the same times. But that doesn't mean Malcolm X did not overcome and become the man that we know him to be. Exactly, Ashanti warrior. But if you talk to some of these people, they would say it was in the 60s. But Kwame Nkrumah, Ghana had its independence in 1958. So that would mean he became president already.
Don't come over here and pick fights with us, and this follows the political system, and that you ain't Pan-Africanist college. No, just African Americans have, we have nothing left in the political system, right? So I understand that. Look, you gotta be careful when you make talking points, and you're a black foreigner, and because you don't understand certain things about Black America. They don't understand certain nuances of Black America.
Notice the difference. Remember what I pointed out? Now he's like, he even went further. You're a black foreigner. You're a black foreigner. But him in Africa, I've seen them make that argument. No, we are not foreigners in there. But this guy is legally an American now. So you cannot call him a foreigner. So he skipped the immigrant part. He said, you're a foreigner. You don't understand us Black Americans. But hey, us, when we come to Africa, despite not even knowing the language, we would fabricate a story and tell you how much we know about Africa. Would you argue, for example, with, let's say, even a Pan-Africanist that stayed in Africa, right, for more than a year? They tell you about the place. It makes sense not to argue with that person. It would make sense for them to know something about the place, but not just a couple weeks. Different countries here and again, you wouldn't know the ins and outs. You will only know a few things. But the people that live there, the Pan-Africanists or reparts that live there, now, that would be a different ball game. But these are just hustlers.
When Joe Biden says something about Black people, you ain't Black. When if you vote, you don't vote for you ain't Black. And all this stuff like this, and capping for the DACA and all this stuff. And Joe Biden said, "Oh yeah, Black people don't think alike. Hispanic people think differently. You got different thoughts and everything." So that's such a freaking insult. That's just saying we're so stupid, right? We're so dumb that you don't have to worry about appeasing to them politically because they all vote the same way. That's basically an old school racist who say something like that. And so when people come in and say Black, and he was on here saying, basically calling us out for basically even.
Hey, H-Block, thank you for hitting that Cash App. People, don't forget, if you want to support the show, hit that Cash App. Thank you.
Questioning. We weren't even talking about Trump. We were talking about just stay home. He was attacking you, Diners, but he was saying just stay this election out. So he's a rabid Democrat. Why? Because in his position, like we have an African American mind. There's a Nigerian mind. There's a Jamaican mind. Everybody thinks differently. We see the world differently, right? He's thinking in terms of if the Democrats keep going on, we're gonna have open borders, right? I can get my whole family over here.
You see how illogical he sounds? So this guy is an American citizen, naturalized. So why would he want open border? If he's an American citizen, which I believe he is, he doesn't need the open border. He can bring his family members here. He can invite them. But you see the mindset? Their mindset is you will be going to the southern border. When they think of you, they think of you as the people crossing the border. So open border, why would a legal American citizen support that? It makes no sense. He said the man doesn't know Black Americans, but he lived in Black America. But he made up a thought and ascribed it because he's the expert. He ascribed it to the guy. Okay, if you say he's a Democrat, he wants to support the Democratic agenda, sure, argue from that point. You can present, what you're talking about. But, what he's saying is total display of ignorance because they feel too big in their head. How dare you, as an immigrant here, becoming a citizen and speaking on things that you have the right to speak on. Just imagine that. Like, how dare you speak on the things that you have the right to speak on? Keep the argument on what the topic is. But 1 minute we heard you saying you're African. You do not want to be called a foreigner in Africa. But you have no problem disregarding this man's legal status in America.
Adore me. Whatever you want to do in our lingerie, we're here for it.
That was the end of that video. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to open up the lines. Come on in. Tell me what you think. If you think, oh no, Afrodamus, you misread this, even though you heard it plenty of times, but since you're an immigrant from Africa, maybe you are not smart enough to understand these things. So let me explain it to you. You're welcome. Or, I want to hear what you think about, what some of these Pan-Africanist / FBA people that pretend to be all these things just to get what they want in Africa. They're just migrating. Not everybody. There are some who have, let's see, they have good intention. Let me give you an example of a video that I found. Someone sent it to me, one of the viewers. I forgot the name, but thank you for sending this to me. It's the opposite of the video that I featured here yesterday. Remember I told you guys there is Black Americans who are going to Africa who don't think this way. So I have one who is not thinking in group terms, but he has plans, great plans. That's how a person that travels think. And he is very young. He's not there with his mama. He went there by himself. Okay, let's hear some of it before I take some of these calls here. Give me a second.
Room, because there is some heat coming. Is that what people say? Email me.
So this guy here, he's in Tanzania. He is not begging. He is a true investor. He's not even asking for donations. He is doing it like it's supposed to be done. Okay? He wants to bring value. See, if you make yourself valuable, people will need you. But if you're begging, it's begging. But let's hear the two different point of views from yesterday. Yesterday, what we heard, compare that to this one. This guy is a true investor.
Now or later at markmeetsbusiness@gmail.com, because we're going to have the actual plan for you. It's a Google Docs, and it's the official plan, the investment plan with all the numbers and the strategy on there for you. If you're serious about investing, because you have to be serious. I don't want to, go through too many emails where the people are like, well, how's it going? And I love those, but we got to be serious, because right now this project should have been done years ago. This is such a big need. The reason this is a good investment.
People. Okay. Now, that's a serious person. See, a serious person with a plan, they get straight to the point. They are not trying to, use mind games, shaming tactics. He gets straight to the point, and he's letting you know, hey, I want only serious people to send me emails. It's all fine to say hello whatsoever, but if you're truly about this, let's do it. He's a great representation. But now let's see how many people would truly support someone like him, that he has the plan. He has the plan. He went ahead. He lived there for 9 months before he came out talking about this. So he studied the place, understand, and he highlights. Because you see, to be a good business person, you go to the environment and see what they need. What can you bring that would bring you money? So for those of you that are interested in investing in Africa as Black Americans, here's your opportunity. Here's somebody very well spoken, someone that's done the research for you. Let me allow him to explain. He's not like the refugee from yesterday who was begging. This man here is smart. He's really smart.
Opportunity is in every diaspora YouTuber and content creator and even just diaspora who are here said it's a great idea. I've run the numbers, and again, if you email me, you'll get those numbers. This makes sense. We are talking multi-million dollars. This is that profitable because there's nothing like it here. We don't have a community center. Even locals don't have community centers. Tanzanians don't build those. They don't know the value yet of getting together as a community in one building and seeing what can happen.
Guys, remember what I said yesterday? So he goes to Tanzania, right? He checks, he observes that they don't have community center where people gather. Notes it. So he's like, this will be great. So in Africa is no exception to any other place. That's what the Chinese do too. They come, they do the business because first of all, they do it in raw material. And for the most part, these African countries, when they're doing business with the Chinese, so they sell the raw material to the Chinese. Now the Chinese know, okay, the Africans have the money, but the Africans don't spend the money on a whole lot of things. So they would say, okay, you guys need roads, right? Let's build it for you. You need this, let's build it. So technically, that's what the Africans should be spending the money on. Now the person that's doing the building is here. Okay? Sometimes things are not always going to work in your favor, but the smart thing to do is to study it and take charge. That's what Mark here has done. A young guy.
Shopping with each other instead of going to town so that they can buy something that they couldn't get in their.
Tyrese Kelly, why don't you hit that link and come here, tell me how passive I am being? Just, I don't know how old you are, but because you saw FBA Nigel write it, you can't control yourself like a child. You have to repeat it as if it's your original thought. If FBA Nigel didn't write that, that thought didn't come to your head. Why would I be passive about anything? These are the silly things that I talk about. If you believe I'm being passive, why don't you hit that link and come tell me? Instead of, hiding in the chat like a little coward. Let's go.
Local neighborhood. We need this.
Oh yeah, I think it was Karima, the Somalian girl. I think you were the one that sent it to me, right? Thank you.
This is not maybe, this is not, well, you know what, it's a great idea, I hope it goes well. No, this is, I want to be a part of this, right? You have to, I'd say, yeah, this is something we all have to be a part of. And we have to all take responsibility for. This is our community center. This is our project. So again, if you're seriously interested in investing, anywhere between 500 to 1,000 minimum, and then we'll talk about the details, and then later we'll have another opportunity. But if you're seriously interested, because I'm getting a lot of emails and a lot of messages saying, what can I invest in? I'm ready for investment.
Okay, those of you that were trying to get mad, right? Now, you see, I'm pointing out the difference. This man right here, Mark, is a serious investor. He is telling you, he's got the blueprint for you. He doesn't want your money. He wants you to invest in this project versus somebody who's going to go there and beg. If they build that community center, guess what? They're going to be like, okay, these people are needed in this community. Okay, you can even the visa that that man was talking about, the privilege visa. If you're a real investor to African countries, you can get investment visa as a businessman to go there. It's not different than America. Some people they give them business visas here too. But let me bring in a couple people real quick, one at a time. We have Beta X. Beta X, thank you for calling. Beta X, can you hear me? Oh, I don't know what happened to Beta X. Only me. What's on your mind? Thank you for calling in.
Yeah, hello, good evening, Damos. Yeah, I have never seen this guy before. This is the first time I see him.
Yeah.
So it looks like he has a plan, and it looks good. But the other guy, what's his name? Search for Uhuru, something like
Yes.
that, right?
What do you want to say
Yeah.
about
Oh
what?
yeah. Oh yeah. I never liked him, to be honest. He's very biased, and this Pan-Africanist is becoming like a business deal. A lot of people are making business, and I think this is what it is. But you know what, this thing that everybody has to go back, why you not in your country, this is getting tiring, to be honest. Let me just I can speak for my country. For my country, the people who are outside the country, the diaspora, brings the most in economic to the country in Somalia, because we all send back money. So
Remittances.
yeah. We bring 70 to 80% of the economy of the country comes from outside, and this is only from the diaspora. So we are not just here chilling and smoking weed. We are really literally working and sending the money back. A lot of us, many of us came because of wars and stuff like that, such as my country.
Trust me,
And
he knows.
so many of, yeah, so lumping everybody together is just not productive. However, listen, migration has been happening since day one. Human beings have been migrating like forever, so it's nothing new. But this why you here, why you here, as long as like people have different
Well, don't you think Africans should start asking that question too? Like, what are you doing? Going to African countries. These
exactly,
questions should be asked, and it's not
yeah,
being
because
mean,
they
but you gotta ask these questions.
yeah, of course, no, because they think that they own Africa and that's their home and they're coming home, let's say that, right? But yeah, but he is running many of them are running away from oppression in their own country, and we
I
have to
mean,
just
I don't even,
so they
like
say.
I've seen people who it's like if your hustle in America fail, for some they already have the money, they did work, retire, they want to go to Africa.
Mm-hmm.
So, hey, this is the new thing. If you're an
Yeah.
ex-inmate, you read some books, hey,
Mm-hmm.
you become a Pan-Africanist, get your YouTube channel, and say facts at the end of every sentence. And you notice everybody worked in corporate America. Corporate America could mean you worked at McDonald's, at the Friars. Who knows, right? Nothing wrong with
Mm-hmm.
that. But
Mm-hmm.
everybody, oh, I worked in corporate America. Okay. That didn't work. So now what? You're going to become a Pan-Africanist. So
Yeah,
that's
just
what
like the
we're
girl said yesterday, the way
so
they were
so that's
saying
what
that
we're
it's a lot of
dealing with.
hustle in America.
Hmm?
She was also saying, yeah, we have to work 3 jobs in America, so in Africa it's much easier probably. Somebody was asking me in the comment section, why am I not going back to my country? I'm like, excuse me, I'm not in your country, so you have nothing to say to me. I'm in Germany, I'm in Europe, so keep that energy in America. Like nobody here in Germany is
Look,
asking me, why don't you go back? You understand what I'm saying?
look, only
So
me. I don't
people
know
are
if you
getting a
heard
little
me
bit.
yesterday when I
Yes,
said I have worked 2 jobs, 3 jobs before at a time, 16 hours.
yes, I heard
I
that.
have done that before.
Yes,
But as you know, when you move to a new place and as immigrants operate the remittances, you have to work, right? You have to
of
put in
course.
that hours to get your weight up. So you don't have the time to listen to somebody do hotep babbles to you.
Yeah.
But now I got myself to a place where I can come up with my YouTube channel too and counter these hotep babbles for you guys that are too busy to do the investigation. I'm here for you. That's what I'm here to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they claim their money is going to multiply in Africa. We knew this, like everything they talk about, we already knew this. It's like, why you acting like you're
But
bringing
why
new
don't they? But
information?
why don't they say? Why don't they have this energy for the Chinese people or the Asian people who are coming there? I mean, I don't think they're telling a Korean guy he's running away from his country
No, they're
or
not.
Japanese.
They just go
So
there to spend the money. That's all.
no, but that energy is crazy. Like you have Korean people who have like super shops, I mean beauty shops in the neighborhoods, right? Why
That's
don't you go
right.
to that Korean woman and say, "Hey, why are you running away from your country and selling me wigs and beauty supplies here?"
They'll
Like it
probably
doesn't
take
make
the,
any
they'll
sense.
probably take their broom and say, "Get out of my shop! Get out! Get out!
I bet
Get
so,
out
but
before I
that's
call police!"
crazy.
Yeah. So
Probably, but
let's
I
not
don't
play
get
this
it. But
game.
anyway, yeah.
Let me bring in Beta X. I'll put you back here. All right, Beta X, welcome to the show.
Yo, thanks for having me here,
What's on
man.
your mind?
Yeah, so in regards to the whole Dynast and color genesis situation, it was very disappointing from them to hear from them saying that type of stuff. You know, I never expected them to say such a thing, you know, claiming that they're Pan-Africanists, but then they'll go on to discriminate against black immigrants who immigrated for a reason and completely ignore the reasons as to why they immigrated, such as economics or a job or seeking opportunity, as does every immigrant who's immigrated to America. Naturally, it was disappointing, and you know,
But
again,
why were you disappointed? This is not the first time, you know, he's expressed sentiment. I mean, in exact words. Like,
well, I've not personally heard it. Maybe you
oh,
have.
this is your
I've not.
first time?
Yeah, it's my first time.
Huh.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, so it's my first time hearing it, and it's just very disappointing. They're using the same, you know, talking points as these, you know, FBA and ADOS, you know, cultists out here. He like to spew out xenophobia and immigrant bashing. In regards to the whole situation, you know, I want to explain immigration to these guys in the comments. Re-immigrate for opportunity. There's diverse reasons for immigration. We don't just immigrate to flee from our nation because it's a war zone. No, we have different reasons for immigrating. Some of us immigrate for business. Some of us immigrate
Right.
for, you know, for opportunities in regards to
But
education.
isn't that what
so on and so
they
forth.
are trying to do in Africa?
Say again?
I say, isn't that what they're trying to do in Africa?
Yes, exactly. We've got doctors, lawyers, and so on and so forth in Africa that try and keep the peace and try to keep African society functional. This whole notion that
It's all pretense, if you ask me.
It's all what?
It's pretense.
What do you mean by that?
Like they're pretending.
You mean color and
yeah, they're pretending.
Yeah, of course they're pretending.
Yeah.
They're on this whole Pan-African thing, right? But they're on that because they want to look cool, look pro-black. But when it comes to actual conversations, they really express themselves. They really expose themselves. They're out here talking about, oh yeah, I'm a Pan-Africanist. I believe in the unification of black people. But yeah, the guy in brother, shout out to him because he really spoke up facts. Literally, they were attacking him based on his immigrant background.
Right.
And that then I can't speak. That there of itself is complete xenophobia and completely disappointing from them. So it just exposes them as not true Pan-Africanist. They're just
don't be surprised. You're gonna see more and more of this. But can you, before you leave, what did you think about the Nigerian guy there who jumped in to become a panderer? What do you want to say about that?
What did the Nigerian guy say? I think I missed that.
Oh, you missed that?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you, Beta X.
Yeah.
Thank you for calling in again.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, we have Mo Solomon. Mo Solomon, thank you for calling in. Mo, what's on your mind on what you've heard?
So far, what I'm seeing from ADOS and most of the organizations created by Black African Americans is becoming a joke at this point. I mean, the ADOS, the hot taps, the FBAs. From all I'm seeing is just becoming one big circus show. Okay, they want to benefit from Africans, but they don't want Africans to come to America. They want African finances to again put their finances towards their ideas and their interest in Africa. All I can see is hypocrisy here.
So more, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
In the conversation, like, from were you shocked? Were you shocked to hear them talk to the guy about like that, using his immigrant background, and also the Nigerian that was there, you know, pandering to the fake Pan-Africanists? What do you think about that?
Okay, for the first part of the Nigerian talking, I didn't hear too much of it. But what I did hear is the fact that all of those so-called Pan-Africanists are ganging up on the Nigerian. They're
No, the
using his
Nigerian was the one pandering. The guys from Guyana.
pardon?
The guy they were ganging up on, he's from Guyana.
Okay, I didn't hear that part.
Oh, so you missed that part too.
Yeah, but I was gonna make some. I was gonna say some other points as well. See, Pan-Africanism for me is poison because they try because the whole idea of Pan-Africanism, if you're gonna stick to the ideals of Pan-Africanism, is African unity in the end of the day. But these guys don't stick to that principle. They're all over the place. They literally have no idea what they're talking about.
Wolves in
And then the
sheep
second part,
clothing.
pardon?
They are wolves in sheep clothing.
Yeah, basically, that's the saying I was gonna say. Second of all, they're against what's it called, immigration, African immigration. But then again, they don't see the other ethnical minorities, like such as the Asians, such as the Koreans. They don't see any of these other guys, but they have their eyes on the Africans. This is what I think. This is no offense, but the slave mentality. The black or the Africanism has been beaten out of them so bad that they hate the image of themselves.
Right.
And now they're trying to take their anger towards Africans.
Mm-hmm.
Is it whose fault is it that you've been in America for 400 years and you're still the poorest minority in America? And now you have these Africans, such as the Nigerians, who are a great example, coming to America, and they're becoming one of the most successful immigrants in America, and they're making the most money. Whose fault is that? Is it your fault or their fault? While you're too busy being in, no offense again, gang wars, shooting and killing yourselves, while the Nigerians are over here taking over businesses and actually doing good for themselves, and now you're hating at the moves that they're doing. I don't understand the hatred. I don't understand the hatred of these people. These so-called FBAs and ADOS. They're ridiculous.
Well, they speak like, you know, they are part of that, but they claim to be Pan-Africanist. Mo, thank you. I'll put you in the back here, and I'll bring another viewer here. Give me a second. All right. We have Lift Every Voice. Thank you for calling in. Where you calling from?
Hey, what's going on, good brother? Listen, right?
Where you calling from? Lift Every Voice.
Yeah. I'm about to get to that. So
just get to that. Get to that right.
Yeah, relax, bro. Relax. I've been on your
I'm very
platform
relaxed.
before.
Just answer the question. Where you calling from? Why
you so mad? I'm a Pan-Africanist brother, American.
Where are you calling from, sir? Answer that question so we can continue. Where are you calling from?
Do you have my mic muted? Because I'm seeing it says host has muted me. Am I muted?
I muted you because you will not answer my question.
That's disrespectful.
What's disrespectful is you not answering my question. I'll give you.
And you didn't even allow.
If you don't answer it, I'll have to pick you out.
Do it. Why are you so mad?
I'm not mad. Where are you calling from?
Okay, so relax, and I'm gonna answer the question.
Okay. I'm listening.
Okay. I've been on your platform.
Where are you calling from?
So you're gonna continue to do this? Is that what you're gonna do?
Where are you calling from, sir?
Listen, man, you're not gonna tell me how to answer. So either you're gonna show respect. That's how it works.
Are you gonna answer my question, or you going to?
You're not allowing me to. All I have to say is there's a Gambian sister that wants to interview you. That's it.
Who?
Do you want to accept the invitation? She's on Clubhouse.
Tell them to send me the link.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right. But that was some bitch move there.
Guys, Look, please leave your ego outside before you hit that link. Please, no need for you to come here and bring your drama. Just answer the question. It's simple as that. Because I want people, when I ask you where are you calling from, I want the people that are listening to have context, to understand, where, whatever you're about to tell them, how you formulated your ideas. Okay? That's all what it is. But it's nothing more. So lift every voice. I'm gonna kick you out, okay? Because I don't know what your deal is. He's too emotional for the show. Okay, let me play this guy real quick one more time here.
Let's invest. So for the people that are interested, email Mark Meets Business. It's a different email, markmeetsbusiness@gmail.com, and we'll have something for you that you can see and visualize, and then we'll have meetings and things like that.
Guys, are you seeing a pattern here? When the phone calls are going, the conversation is going smooth. You guys remember yesterday too, right? Did you guys remember that? So I dropped off Mo, so Mo can give this man the chance to speak, but I got him here. I'll let him finish his point and tell us how he feels about this Lift Every Voice's behavior. Mo, are you there?
Yeah, I am.
Mo, what do you, did you see that behavior right there? What do you think about that? Is that respectful?
Can you show me again? I was looking at the comments. I never saw it. The clip.
No, the guy that called in.
Oh, the previous guy.
Yeah.
First of all, he wouldn't answer any of your questions, and then the moment you tell him, the moment you put him on mute, so you can get some answers out of him, he becomes rude, and then he threatens to leave. This is basically the mentality of African Americans. This is what I'm noticing in them.
No,
when they can't answer things straight.
It's not all.
This is not all. Yes, you're right about that. But this is the people that support like the groups like ADOS and the FBA one. These are the type of people. They cannot when you ask them a simple straight question, they like to twist and turn, and they like to play themselves as victims, as they always have been, as they always will be. This is the reason why I can't stand many of them. I've had previous talks with one of them, who was targeting my people. Especially the Horners, he was attacking us. He was attacking us hard. He was saying, "Oh, you're Arabs, or you're this, and you're that." And he goes that his people were, what was it again? They were Israel Hebrews and ancient Egyptians.
Hebrew Israelite.
Yeah, Israel Hebrews, and he said that his people are also the ancient Egyptians, which I never had a better laugh. That was a good joke. How? Okay, first of all, I want to get to the science behind this, but we know that his people are not Egyptians, nor are they Israelites. But then again, he was ridiculing my people. This is the mentality. I don't know what type of education they get. I don't know what kind of institution teaches them, but they actually believe the things that are coming out their mouth. It is ridiculous. And the moment you try to, say to them, bring evidence, they give you a book written by a hotep as evidence.
Mm-hmm. That's the way. That's my whole point. You see, what they are trying to perpetrate is, you see, for instance, they want to make Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Marcus Garvey all in one, when it's all different type of,
exactly
thinking, different errors. It's not even the same. You
exactly
see?
My point.
So if you're not paying attention, they can easily pull a fast one on you. And how do they do it? Shaming tactics. Because let's be clear, when you watch the videos, this is not only towards just the Black immigrant thing. You have to watch how they even, because there are Black Americans who don't believe in this Back to Africa movement.
Exactly.
Look at the technique he uses to, to try to shame them. Oh, come to Africa. You're getting your asses kicked by the white man. But when you repeat it, it's a problem. You see what I'm saying?
They're
So
getting their asses kicked by every minority in America.
well,
They are the most underpaid, and I mean underpaid people in America. They commit the highest crime in America, even though they're only 12% of the population. They commit more than 50% of the crimes.
well,
They have so many problems, but again, they concentrate on attacking Africans.
yeah.
This is their regular basis. Attack Africans. Is this all they can do? Is attack Africans?
Yes.
They cannot fix any of their problems. And then they ask us why we're coming from our countries to America. You're acting like you African Americans came to America on your own free will. You never. Or do you think that you just went on your boat and went to America and looked for people? No. So again, how are you going to question us on why we're coming and our situations
It's really
when
sad.
you never went there on your own free will? It's not your country. It's run by a white man. It will always be run by a white man. It is not your country. You have to understand, it is not an African American country.
Well, thank you, Mo. You've laid it out well. Thank you. I think
No problem.
Your message is well received. Those who believe in this, you heard what Mo said. Thank you, Mo. All right, let's hear this one more time.
Zoom calls to answer any specific questions, but email that now or later. And I'll put that in the description after this video.
You know what I'm going to do? Because it's almost 2 hours and I'm about to get busy. So I'm just going to do the last round here and then I'm going to leave. I don't want to stay too long here. So I'll allow the people to say their last piece before we leave. Only me. You're up. Go for it.
Yeah, I sent you a small clip. I wanted you to watch. It was
Is it this one here?
yeah, that one. Yeah,
Hold on.
that made me laugh so much. It was crazy. This is a
Oh.
crazy clip. When people think like this, we have a problem,
Hold on.
guys.
Let me. Hold on. Oh, it's from Twitter. Hold on. Let me share it. Let me see what. The language is clean, right?
It's English. Yeah, it's language clean. It's just
Okay.
a couple of minutes, but the mindset is crazy on this video. And when people think like that, oh God,
It's a problem, but
yeah. Just watch this lady.
Black immigrants, African and Caribbean, make about $10,000 more a year than African Americans do. You guys have systemic privileges that enable you to move through society as a Black person easier than we do. So you don't work harder. You're not smarter. You aren't more financially savvy than us. You actually have more money than us. Therefore, you are able to have more options in terms of your future and education. That is it. So please stop thinking that you are actually better than us, because you're not. You're not. Have a nice day.
did she even say anything? Like this
She said we
woman
are
just,
privileged.
yeah, this
Black
woman just
people
put,
are.
well, that's what I'm saying. So now that's what, because first is racism is about the skin color. So now all of a sudden, so there's white privilege. Remember, guys, I was telling you guys, maybe you didn't catch this, but I said this before. People think, oh, Afrodamus, you're just trying to piss people off. I said pretty soon. I said this, I think, last year in one of my videos. It would soon say the immigrants, Black immigrants, have white privilege. It didn't even take long. It didn't even take long. So all of a sudden, so I'm gonna come from Africa, right? For instance, to America, a new culture. I gotta learn the culture. I gotta get work permit. I gotta be allowed to do all this, learn and language and be and assimilate in this society. So you that's born here, you are already you're supposed to be ahead of me, advanced. Okay.
Yeah.
You have people come here, they don't speak English, they learn from scratch, learn English. Do you know how hard it is to learn a completely new language? It's not that easy. So this woman is saying Black immigrants have privilege. Okay. So now
That shocked me too.
that's the mentality. That's the mentality. How can you argue against this? It doesn't even make sense. You're like, I thought racism was based in skin color. You have
Yeah, that's what I thought
or
too.
even when I hear they say, oh, in America, if you have a different name, you're not gonna get jobs whatsoever. That is not true. I know people, Nigerians, who have name. They have to use their government name. They have names like Olumide Olundare. You think Olumide is not applying for jobs? He's got a great job right now. His job is great. The man's never had issues getting job because of his name. But at the end of the day, it's about what you believe. So she believes that the racism, quote unquote, only affects Black Americans. They are a special kind of Black. You, the immigrant, who is not even from this country, who don't even know about Thanksgiving, you learn about all that here. Now you are the one that have more privilege. Make this make sense for me.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I gave you this. I sent you this video because it really did not make any sense to me. Because all I heard was like people saying white privilege, white privilege, white privilege, and all of a sudden, Black people have a privilege, and you saying
No,
like
only the immigrants.
African, yeah,
African.
immigrants, Haitian or Jamaican or whoever have. I mean, how is that even possible? How do they even see the difference? I don't know. But this was a hilarious video, and when you guys are thinking like this, that makes you even more handicapped. Before you were handicapped because white people were above you. Now immigrants is above you. You're becoming handicapped again. All over. This is not good. And for the kids, the youngster who getting older, when they hear this, always being like
It's
being
demoralizing.
underprivileged
Yeah.
it is demo. Everybody is above you. That's what you're telling. Even the immigrant who came from Africa is above you. That is crazy, and this is not good for the community, for these communities
No, well,
and their
well, what
kids.
she's doing is she's jumping. This is what happens with the trend. This woman probably never ever met immigrants. Oh, she's cool with some immigrants, right? But now it's popular because Tariq made it popular to hate on immigrants. So she has to join in the hate monger. She got Twitter, she got internet, she got to record a video. So why not? Why not?
That's
That's
Yeah, of
that's
course.
what
This
it
is
is.
this is this is Tariq Nasheed in woman shape, right? She's talking exactly what he's saying, and these people are
She has no clue.
no
She's just
on mind.
showing her insecurity. That's all.
She
She's not
has no
speaking
mind.
facts.
Imagine white people watching this, how they have to
Oh, they are
laugh to hear
laughing. Oh,
this.
they already
I
watched
mean,
it.
they're like, what is no? This was a white person who actually tweeted this and shared this. I took it from
Oh,
that.
see?
Yeah. And the
Mhm.
white people were actually laughing, saying, "I cannot believe this is happening." Like Black people are above Black people. Black people
Mhm.
have privilege above other Black people. What is going on? This is victim
Foreign blacks, for
mentality.
that matter.
I
Foreign
exactly
blacks.
black anyway. So yeah, exactly. So your kids are watching this and they're gonna always be the victim. That's what I'm saying.
And the
Now
thing is,
a
they've never
foreigner who
even,
came
these
yesterday,
people have never
yeah,
been African in
no,
America. It's one thing to say I'm African. Try moving to America, you know, without being an American citizen. You got to start from scratch like immigrants.
exactly. How
You
would
got to
that
get
be like?
work permit. You have work permit. You are allowed to work. And
Yeah.
people who have to go through the process to get permit,
Imagine you went to
to even,
kindergarten,
yeah.
you went to first grade, you went all school, all the way to you had all this chance, right?
Mhm.
You are privileged.
Right.
Then somebody coming in his 20s and 30s and has to work from everything he has to do for him and learn the language. But this is crazy. With this mindset, these people are not moving anywhere.
No, well, I'm not surprised
Seriously.
to see this woman record this. I'm like look, if I want to play some of these videos that are like this, we would be here all day. You know, this woman recorded this. She's not even thinking about the ramifications. It's popular to say, and she's saying it. She doesn't care about how this is going to make an entire group look like, which is her group. You see?
Yeah, look bad.
So yeah, look bad. But
Again, victim,
because victimhood is popular. So therefore, no shame. You know, they gotta do it. And you know, there are many blacks who are ashamed by this behavior, but they cannot say anything.
Listen, there are a lot of people in the history have been enslaved. A lot of people. You know, the Russian, the Balkans, they've been enslaved. The Slavic people, right? There are so many people, white, Arab, everybody have been enslaved in this world. And you don't hear Russia is like
this is not even about slavery.
You know, but this is
This is
no,
just-
but this is the mentality. This is a mentality you carry around. There's victimhood. It comes all the way from slavery. If you say what is the problem, the story goes all the way 500 years back.
Right.
Let's move on. I mean, it happened. It was bad, but you were not there yesterday. That time. Today we have to move on. Yesterday was white people on top of you. Today is African black people or immigrant on top of you. Tomorrow who? Who's going to be on top of you?
Yeah,
You know, this is victim mentality has to stop.
Well,
anyways,
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you much. All right, let's see. H Block, thank you for calling in. What's on your mind about what you heard?
Hey man, thanks for letting me speak, bro. I'm here just getting ready for the Super Bowl. By the way,
who you got
today?
I like the underdogs, you know, the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm from Seattle, so you know I can root for the Rams, bro.
Rams, yeah.
Yeah, I'm going for the Bengals. I think they're gonna take it.
I like underdogs, but
yeah, absolutely. But I just want to. I was calling to say I just want to remind my African people. You know, this whole movement, FBA thing, is not majority of Black Americans.
Right.
It's less than 1%. It's just people online
on the
internet.
Know,
Tyreek, you know, he knows what got him to. He finessed $2 million from them. And he knows how he got that. So he's gonna
give them red meat.
Right, exactly. He's not gonna tell the truth because that's at the end of the day, that's not giving him any money. These most of his supporters are high school dropouts in their 30s. They failed in life. They just wanted something to belong to and just feel good about themselves. But overwhelmingly majority of Black Americans don't see Africans, don't care about Africans, don't even speak about Africans.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like people need to tone it down about these African Americans because these people don't represent African Americans. I just wanted to say that and remind
that's why I think you see the channel is here to point it out. Because
exactly.
I got people write to me who are even Black American who write to me, they say, Afrodamus, thank you so much for shedding light on this. Even us, we are tired of this type of, you know, rhetoric that is being put out there. And this, please don't see us all as one. Trust me, I have common sense. I know that this is not every Black person.
Bro, right now, the Super Bowl party I'm going to is one of my Black friends that invited me. Bro, I see Black people all the time. In fact, one of my coworkers, I asked him yesterday about the FBA. He had no clue what I was talking about. So majority of Black people don't know this shit, bro. Like it's 1% online thing. So people, you have to differentiate. This is not majority of Black Americans. So whenever you're talking about, please do not generalize Black Americans they're not with this shit.
Not all, but most online.
I wouldn't say most. Even the ones that are supporting online, they're not doing it in real life.
Oh, I know. They're just, you know what? The thing is, it only is about, see, when you're dealing with situations like this, okay, like Tariq might be saying something, he's just clowning, for instance.
Bro,
but that have ramification. There are people who are real haters, who they want to be shown, you know, that, because of this group of people, they are the reason why you are not getting ahead. It's because of the white man. It's because of the Japanese. There has to be somebody there. So that's why it needs to be called out, you know.
Yeah, absolutely,
That's why
absolutely, bro.
it needs to be called out, because it's been
Yeah.
repeated on these YouTube streets quite some time. So that's why this is where we talk about it, you know. I mean,
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, like a majority Africans don't even, live around African Americans. They don't
right.
even like interact with each other. So I don't understand this hate. But Tariq,
It's
the
funny.
guy, it's
It's
not
funny.
logical.
I've
He's a high
said
school
that.
dropout,
Yeah.
bro. The
Well,
guy
that,
is not logical, bro. Like the things that he says is outrageous. Like
yeah,
you
but
can't
it's
even take him
Tariq.
serious, bro. The
But there
guy
are
says
people
that.
that follow him.
Yeah, the people that follow him, they're high school dropouts. They have no education. They don't have any logic, bro.
Right.
Trust me. Most of them don't. They a lot of them believe they're Indians. How stupid does that
Yeah.
sound, bro? They think like because I called in one of their channels. I said, explain to me, if you're Indian, how did you get? Because we know the Red Indians. We know how they got here. During the Ice Age. The
Right.
land bridge over Alaska. They can't even explain anything. They don't believe in a theory of evolution. They don't believe anything. These people are dumb. We can't take them serious, bro. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It's not the majority of African Americans, because I have a
Oh, I
lot of
know.
African American
Trust
friends,
me. I know.
and they're not like that at all. Trust me. They're educated people, hardworking people. They are
Well,
not
even
like
those
these.
people don't approve of this. That's what I'm trying to
Right.
say. They don't approve of,
Absolutely.
this behavior. But, thank
Yeah.
you very much. Thank you. Think before you type. Thank you for calling in. What's on your mind? What do you think about what you've seen in that conversation?
All right, it's actually pretty hilarious and funny. I've always said before is that these FBA and ADOS, they keep projecting every single time. But what's so obvious now is that people, the immigrants that they're talking shit about, is surpassing them in the so-called American dream. You know, so they have the ideal. They're talking about all this nonsense, but when it comes down to the people coming here, whether they're Mexicans, whether they're Latinos, Asians, Africans, different parts of the world, they come in, they just focus on their own thing, and they are easily surpassing them. And these ADOS and FBAs are extremely jealous and envious. And we always tell them, like, listen, if you have an issue with us, say it exactly what the problem is, but don't make it seem like as if we're fucking jealous of you or we are trying to be like you or anything like that. You
So
know what I
what do
mean?
you say to when they say Africans or black immigrants should just come here, get education and leave, go develop your country? Why are you guys here? What would, like Dinas was doing? He's Pan-Africanist until you disagree, then he's red-blooded American. You should go back and develop your country. What do
What
you
do I
say to that?
what do I say to that? That is the definition of a house Negro. That is straight up how the Uncle Ruckus is, Clayton Bixby, all
Mhm.
these so-called, most of them, that's how they operate. They love talking shit about white people, but as soon as they see us doing something good, they run to their white masters, and I'll fucking say it. But their white oppressors that's who they love at the end of the day. These people suffer from Stockholm syndrome. They have been abused mentally, physically, stripped. Everything about them has been broken down, and then they've been replaced with the white identity. You know what I mean? You see that other lady that came here from Poland? Now she's claiming to be something else. You know what I mean? Like all this
ADOS.
stuff. ADOS, FBA. If you really look at the way they think, these people, they are the modern day house Negroes. Malcolm X warned us about them.
Oh, I
A
know.
lot of
Mhm.
a lot of great leaders before, you know what I mean? In the old days, they warned us about these type of people. And
Right.
so what we see today is the result. I mean, just take a look at the results of what the type of leaders that today that they're having. In all honesty, because all the great Black American leaders have been killed off. They died
Right.
off. You know what I mean?
Exactly. They
They,
don't, many of these people that speak this way, they don't understand, like, we understand and know the history of this country. The men that fought, the heroes, we know what happened to those people, and their teachings are out here even today. You can go listen to Malcolm X on YouTube right now. Go listen to Malcolm X. When you come back, these guys on the internet speaking this way, the colors and all these people, you would laugh in their face. You would see them for the Uncle Rockers and frauds that they are.
Exactly.
You would see
Notice,
it.
yeah. So I mean, great point, and that's what I'm saying. Like Africans need to understand these so-called new the age of
Hoteps.
movement, like
Mhm.
Hoteps or ADOS, and all this stuff. They are straight up Uncle Ruckuses, like straight up. You know what I mean? So I mean, in the old days, there was America. There was a policy that if any Black American slave, right, if they ever try to read, they would be killed off.
Right.
A lot of the intelligent of Black Americans, a lot of them have been really wiped off. The intelligent ones were targeted, killed off. And then in the 60s, the civil rights, anyone who rises above the ashes, right? Any Black American who sees their true enemy is these white oppressors that's coming after them, that's destroying them in every way, and they don't pay attention to any other group that's just that's just minorities, because they're focusing on the main issue, the one that have the basically their knee on their necks, right? So as
So
soon as that happens, they get killed off, and then what you have left nowadays is these fake ADOS, FBA. They have no historical context. They're not even educated. As soon as you try to have a dialogue with them, or even try to say to have intelligent conversations, they start throwing insults. Like as straight up, they are a caricature of a monkey throwing feces. In all honesty, because like notice how the only insults they have against Africans and all this stuff is using the same racist
talking point. Mhm.
racist European playbook. And then we tell them, hey, if you keep using the same racist European playbook against Africans, guess what? We can turn a couple of pages on that same racist playbook that you're using, and we can use a couple of pages against you. And then, but they cry. So that's how they are. They get emotional, they cry, and and all this stuff.
What
I
do you
was gonna
think about the lady that said that Africans have more privilege than Black American?
I
White
mean,
people.
in when it comes to the law of the land, we don't have no privilege. But when it comes down to mentally, we are more privileged. I'll be honest with you, because
Mhm.
if you allow anyone to be to just say like, oh, they're just privileged, you know what I mean, and you're not, and but on your end, you're not gonna put no effort on your end, you know what I mean?
Right.
That doesn't make sense. Like I'm Black. In this country they would consider people like us Black, right? So
Black,
if they
right.
would, you know what I mean? So at the same time, but I don't view myself in colors, because I don't identify myself with what white people view me as.
Same here. I don't identify as what white people see
Yeah.
me as. So that's the
So
difference.
that's the difference. I never let other people define my character, my who I am as an individual. You know what I mean? So that, I mean, if she's talking about in the mindset, I mean, then there's certain things I can agree with her, but I don't think I'm physically under the law. I don't think I'm privileged than anyone else. You know what
Me
I mean?
neither.
Especially
I just
when it comes
I
to
just
Black
work
Americans.
for I just you know
Yeah.
I don't know
So
what the word privilege even means, but it's
it's
all good. Let me
it's
bring in D. D. Thank you. Think before you
can
type. Hold on. Think before you type. Just a sec. D. Thank you for calling in. Where you calling from?
I'm in the Middle West in America,
Midwest. Like what state?
Iowa.
Iowa. Yeah, I've lived in Iowa before. A small town called Fairfield.
Well, in Des Moines right now, it's a lot African.
Oh,
We're
really?
growing more.
Not back in the days when I was there, but what
I know.
D, thank you for calling in. What's on your mind about the topic here, what you've heard, diners, and also the woman that made the video saying Africans are more privileged than Black Americans.
I
But let's start with the
I
diners
do.
part.
A lot of them I agree with the Black, and I also agree with the Africans.
What country are you from?
50-50. I'm Somalian.
You're Somalians. Okay, can you highlight the parts that you say you agree with the blacks? Like, what do you agree with?
I think in Black American, I misunderstood it because, like the lady who just played that video about the job thing,
Yeah.
she's right, because a lot of American company, the white, they have to hire somebody with color, at least one person. And then
Well,
most of them, they choosing hiring the Africans because the culture different than Black American attitude, you know? So we get the job before the
So,
Black American.
but
And
you
the law
said,
needs to be changed on that. Like
but that's not, that's not
Obama
a.
make that change. You know how Chicago, they used
But
to only giving them the job for the white, for construction worker, the highway thing. Now Obama made it 50-50. Black get half, white get half. So
well, if you look at it, because you mentioned attitude, right?
yes.
So, for instance, I have my own company. I hire people. I'm a businessman.
Right.
I don't care about your skin color. If you can do the job right, because it's in the company's interest for you to have somebody who is agreeable, they want to do the job, and they are good at it. People don't care about that. You see?
Right.
So when you mention the attitude, right then and there, that threw the law out. There's no law that said that they have to hire, the African. When you're interviewing people, they're going to go by, who's qualified and the attitude, because it's very important.
Yes, but Ocean, every time the Ocean coming in the company and to check if they hired only one race.
What
The 1% thing, it was
companies
the
that?
Ocean,
Where
the
are these
governor,
companies at?
any company.
Like what? Give me an example, because really, because I'm not like, give me an example, because you're talking about affirmative action jobs, like let's say social service jobs. Is that what you're talking about? Because
Those
that's where this can
kind of
apply.
jobs, most of the time, Black American get that when it comes to welfare job.
Right.
A lot of places, because they do better customer service because the language thing. So
Well, I don't think
a
that's the
lot of
reason.
places. Huh?
That's not the reason. Most black people are employed by the government. They have
Yes.
government jobs. So the government creates that quota. So in government, you can screw up, no problem, because you don't even have to be competent.
True.
Okay. But when you come to private sector where it's about money, the best candidate is going to be picked, because people are in the business of making money. If the person is Black American, you best believe they would pick the Black American. Look at even sports, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sports. Who dominates basketball? Who dominates football?
Black.
Entertainment, in other entertainment. Because blacks are
The other,
good, because they're not just picking off just any black just because you're black and bring you to the NBA. It's because you can play.
you can qualify, yeah.
You can qualify, you can play. That's why they are picking you. So NBA, these sports, these are businesses. So it's not like, why would I hire somebody? Let's say I have a McDonald's franchise.
Yeah.
Okay, I need somebody to be at the fryer. And I hire the person just because they are black, but they don't know how to operate the fryer. How is that helping me?
It won't help you.
It won't help me. So therefore, if I fire that person, it's not because they are black, it's because they're not doing the job, or they want to argue with the customers, be rude, obnoxious, they don't want to follow the rules. They will be fired. I have seen, not like mostly even, because most of even white guys who are obnoxious, or white women, they get fired. I have seen this.
True.
I have seen this, okay? And I've worked in construction also. They have what they call labor ready. You know what that is?
You get paid the same day.
Yeah, you
Right?
go there early in the morning. So they would
It's
take you
funny.
to different companies. So one day I worked for a company, and sometimes they would hire guys that do the labor ready. It's a construction company.
Right.
So I work with a lot of Hispanics who could barely even speak English, but they have skills. They're getting paid minimum 25 an hour up to 40, 50 an hour, because construction pays well.
True.
So, but most of the people we get that come in the labor ready, which used to blow my mind, is Black Americans. So they would come for that very day, you know, just that one they make the money and leave, or some would do it over time, like weeks, but they would
Once they
never,
get paid, they're not coming back.
they're not coming by. They're not,
So
you know,
there's
they
no
could.
loyalty.
So I even had the conversation with one. I said, this company, I said, our company here is hiring. Is hiring. I said, hey, why don't you apply? I said, they'll I said, I'll vouch for you. He's like, nah, man, I just need this, you know, to take care of a couple of stuff. But now, how can you be mad at, like, let's say a Hispanic person who cannot speak English? They didn't, if they come through labor ready, they see the opportunity, they apply for the job, they get taken, right? Right then and there, their money, they get bumped up right away.
Right.
So, however much you love the person, you cannot force them. They're willing to come and work just a day, but they don't want the job as a permanent job.
True.
So that's not because the individual have privilege. It's because
Right.
this other person has the discipline and they are willing to do the job.
Right.
But to be honest, the people that come and do the labor ready, for some reason, they are all Black and they could get the job. It's not like they couldn't. If they apply it, they will get the job.
And most of the time, you have to. They watch the boss, and as soon as he turn, they're not doing the work. It's like you have to really babysit it then over
Yeah.
and over. So a lot of business owner don't want to deal with them because it's not a government money, you know?
Yeah, because first of all, I don't want to. How would you want to have your company? You set it up, and then you have someone come in there trying to tell you how you should run it when you've given them orientation on how they should do their job. They're not doing their job. They want to tell you what rights they have. People don't have time for this. Okay, I understand if someone is mistreating you, of course, you know, you shouldn't take that. But that's very rare in America. People, in fact, if in a business, if you work hard for them, you're the, you know, because when I worked construction, the company owner loved me because I'm very skillful in my trade, what I did. So why would that white man not love me? Do you know how much money I'm making for him? He will love you.
Exactly.
It's simple as that. I don't get any argument. When this man see me, he's excited. He gives me bonuses because I was good at what I did.
Right.
I was useful.
Yes. Because if you hire 20 Black person, the job will not be done. But if you hire 3
Mexicans,
Mexican or foreigner, he will save a lot of money and his job is done.
Yes.
So it's who's there to do the job. The white man doesn't care who he pays, as long as whoever he's paying.
That's my point.
Give
People want the job done. Like when you go to McDonald's, do you care about the color of the person who makes your burger?
No, as long as I get what I pay for it.
All right.
And but it's same thing. It's like the girl who called the other video you did it, the one who's calling for St. Louis, Missouri. That state is 90% what is Black everywhere. So it's a lot of foreigners cannot get a job in that state because it's not a lot of white people. The white people in Missouri, they don't live in St. Louis. So most of the Bible for in that state is the Black. And the Black will only hire other Black. He won't hire the immigrant or the Somalis.
Thank you. You know.
So we have to move to Iowa where it's white is in the power, not Black. Because if the Black is in the power, we will never get any opportunity.
Look, I already know about Blacks only hiring Blacks, even Blacks that have business. But I don't hold that against Blacks. They're smart for that.
True.
They are like, I will not say, man, look at this Black, you know, not, you know, hiring other Black. No, even if a Black, they hire Black over me.
But you see that
I wouldn't be upset, you know.
You see a lot of Middle East who own a corner store. They hire Black people. They hire whoever. They really hire more their family, or they hire Black American than any other immigrant.
Look,
but
that's what I'm saying. And I've heard people say, oh, the Asians don't hire black people, which is a lie. Can you
most
imagine
the
seeing a black man,
most the cashier in Asian store is black. If they hire
well,
any outside Chinese, they will hire black, not the Africans.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And you know, this is how you know it's not true. Seeing a black man, black American working in a teriyaki restaurant,
right,
running the show. So that's why I say these people are delusional. Some of these people that say this, they don't want the job. In America right now, they are looking for people to
right.
come do the job. There's hiring signs everywhere. People are not taking it. So no such privilege here. But thank you.
Yes, he said we have the $10,000 extra every year with income because as an African, my teenager kids will put money in the house. You know, anyone who go to work, we work as a team, but not just get paid one day and not go back to work. You gotta bring more income.
Exactly. That's
You know?
that's the way forward.
Three income every parent. I mean, immigrant house. We have 3-5 income coming in the same household.
Mhm.
When it's the black, it's only maybe once a week one person will bring something.
Yeah, certainly not, doing labor ready, just doing it just for the, for taking care of quick business, like, I mean, should at least do it for at least a month or 3 months and stack up. But D,
Right.
thank you for coming in. I'll put you in the back here. Right, Ashanti Warrior, thank you for calling in. What's on your mind?
Can you hear me, bro?
I can hear you, Ashanti Warrior.
Yeah.
What do you think about this Pan-Africanists like diners who, they hide behind the cloak of Pan-Africanism, but the moment, quote unquote, a black immigrant disagrees with you, you're an immigrant, you shouldn't say anything. Why don't you go fix your country? What do you want to say about that?
Man, that's stupid, man. That's just almost like to the point where it's like no logic anymore. But before I start, Afrodamus, let me make one thing clear, right? So, Dinus and Kyler Genesis, those two guys, I really thought they have sense, right? I figure because
I
they're
used to
always
think
going
so
back
too.
and forth.
I used to
I see
think
them
so.
going back and forth with the the cultists, right?
Mhm.
The FBAs here in the ADOS folk. So I was surprised, really, I was surprised. But I'm disappointed. But here's the thing, though. You see that contention that they keep saying, "Oh, go back and build it." That's some weak argument. So can we also say, why don't you go back and fix your hood, right?
Right.
Like, why don't you go back and fix wherever, man? A lot of us, we come over here and then we're trying to help out, right? We are trying to, we're trying to. Can you hear me? Because I hear super.
Yeah, I can hear you.
get on the mic.
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so Afrodamus, man, you're making a great point. So the whole thing is they don't understand that. Almost to say that's mutually
Get closer so they can hear you more.
right. I'm gonna get closer.
Closer to your
So
mic.
almost to say that you cannot be here and build your country, right? That's the how irrational it is.
Yeah, it's
But then you
delusional.
have, they don't understand that in Africa, that a whole chunk of the GDP is made up of
Remittances.
Exactly.
Yep.
They don't even understand economics, right? So they get
Mhm.
on these YouTube streets and they just pandering. That's why I'm saying, like, I'm really surprised.
It's projection. They flee to Africa because they're the ones saying they're getting their asses kicked by white supremacists. When I came to America, I never said to the white people, I'm fleeing, my country.
Yeah.
It was peaceful country. There was nothing happening.
It's a foolhardy argument. It's weak. Now, I really think it's finesse. I think Dinah's really, the way I'm looking at it right now, is just trying to get all these stores. By the way, who would need 2 ECOWAS passports at the same time? I mean, why would you get one passport in Nigeria and get one in Sierra Leone?
Look,
You know
that's
what I mean?
it's
it
a
really
finesse.
makes sense to me.
It's
So
a
now you're trying to push, have people go over there. So, and then you trying to say, oh, you need to go back. But you always on your show say we are building Africa. I heard him so many times that he's building. So why
What is he
here?
building?
Yeah,
You
he
mean
said he's building.
taking people on tour?
Exactly. And he always say he's building over there. So why is he here? The same logic shouldn't the same logic apply to you? So why are you here if you building? But that's the whole thing, man. These guys, man, these whole bunch of cultist people, they just going around this same bunch of fools because, like, you know, earlier caller said, a lot of them they didn't even graduate from high school. You know, almost to the point where it's almost becoming laughable at this point because they're really not even making any sense whatsoever, right? Now let's go back to the lady, right?
Yeah, the one
the
that
lady
said,
was saying something like, "Oh, you know, the African and black immigrants are making what $10,000 more than how much we're making over here." That's what she's saying. Now, that's another why. Then you know she need to understand why are they. I hear Tone Talks. Remember when Tone Talks started $8? They had all these data, Mr. Data Man.
Yes,
and then it was started in California.
Pocket watching the white man's money.
Exactly. You know, we're not making anything. You know, the collective wealth of black people is $200 in Boston, and you know, Nigerian immigrants are making all of that stuff, right? So I sent him an email. I said, listen, I understand what you're saying, but why do you think that people supposedly coming from somewhere are coming over here and making all that money? I mean, basically they're handicapped. A lot of them, like y'all said, can't even speak English. So you got to understand, it's more like introspection. They're not really looking at it, but it's all hatred, it's envy, it's jealousy. And now they're going on tangent. Now it's like they've been let loose. You know, 1 minute they're Aboriginal seeking reparations in America, which really doesn't even make sense anyway. We were never slaves. Our bones were buried here in America. We built this country.
Ashanti, what do you think about this chameleon movement? 1 minute, like Carla, for instance, he projects that he's Liberian, like he's the expert.
Yeah.
But they quickly descend to becoming Black American, even though they use the same kind of shaming tactics against the Black Americans who are not part of this Back to Africa movement. The same technique, and I have criticized that, and I will criticize that as well. I've told Black people, don't let anybody shame you.
Exactly.
Shame you, you know, about leaving America.
Exactly. We don't owe any explanation. We don't need to be shamed. We need we walk. That's why, you know, you see, we have to walk with our chest high. But like you were saying, right? 1 minute they're this, 1 minute is that. So where is the allegiance? And now you speak to their character, right? You speak to character and integrity. What are they trying to do? Right? We don't have any problems. You going to Africa. One thing you shouldn't be doing, and you shouldn't shame us, is why are we here? Why are you fleeing? That's what they keep saying. You flee over here, go back and build your country. A lot of us came here not because, like, you know, they think everyone who comes to America is like fleeing their country. Listen, let me tell you something, man. The first bank in Chicago got bust. The second bank, which is the GN Bank, it's a conglomerate from Ghana. His name is Indum, right? He built a bank, the first Black in Chicago, employed tons and tons of African Americans, right? And that's just how this guy is building in Ghana. He's building in Nigeria. Matter of fact, he's even started building banks in Senegal. He was a partner at KPMG, right? He's building here. Me, myself, we started a charter school in West Philadelphia. 80% of the teachers were African Americans. Like I told you the other time, I didn't even differentiate between who. But nowadays, it's like these guys are sitting at home 30-some odd years. They haven't accomplished anything. So now it's like they're almost like grabbing straws. Like it's like an age of desperation, right?
But remember when they hated the American flag, and now, like Rasmus said, FBA used to hate the American flag. Now they are in love with the oppressive flag. LOL.
Exactly.
Yeah, I remember
and,
that.
You know, I asked someone, I said, why you have, you know, if you know, you're always talking about white supremacy. Why do you have those, you know, the supremacists? And I'm not even talking about the Confederate, but, you know, because the American flag, you could also say it's a flag of subjugation if you want to keep talking about white supremacy. Or he said, oh, you know, you don't understand it because you don't understand American history. It's Harriet Tubman. There's a lady who's man, get out of here with that nonsense, man. Like 1 minute you trying to justify, oh, it's our flag. Now oh, the flag that symbolizes, oppression, you embracing it. It's
Well,
like
the
it's the
hypocrisy,
logic,
you
man.
know
The
what?
logic is just warped. It's
I
just
have
so
seen
warped at this
people.
point that like I can't even when I was here a long time ago, back in the 80s, right? Like I told you in Brooklyn, a lot of smart people, a lot of people understood the Pan-African movement, and it really wasn't like let's going back, but people really understood something. They were reading. Like they were reading. These guys were smart,
Yes.
right? And the ones that pretty much went to Africa, they kept it quiet. They
Yes.
started businesses. They kept it quiet. They were not, out there, showcasing stuff. See, these guys think that Africa, they're the first, they're the pioneers. They think they're the vanguard
No,
going to Africa right
new.
now.
They are new in this.
You know what I'm saying? In the 60s, there were African Americans in Ghana, in cantonments, like 20 on the street, there were like 20, I could count 25 like African American family living within the community. Okay, just immersed in the culture. Now these guys started this whole fair, everybody going to Africa now, so they jump on the YouTube
It's a
street,
trend.
and now they want people to say, "Oh, we are the pioneers, we the Pan-African." No, you're not. You're not building anything. Africa is building, regardless whether you pay. It's like we're begging them. Oh, we're coming over to
No.
build your country for you. Man, what kind of nonsense is
You
that?
can build anything, man.
A lot of people who come here didn't come out of poverty. A lot of people, Africans who come here, okay, there's some refugees, but a lot of people that I know in the circle, Ghana back in, like our parents and all those guys, they came here to study, they went back, they gave us opportunity. And even now, I can say I was born here, but I don't even say that anymore. You know what I'm saying? I born here, go to Ghana, live there, did whatever I had to, came back here to go to school, right? But these people have so much, like we owe them something. And they can, we fought to bring you here.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
we built
that's
this
that's
country.
yeah, that's
Man,
another.
bro, you didn't build this country. It's kind of like, in Texas, you have a whole bunch of like Mexicans building all this development, right? And then the people that say, oh, you see the name of the development, right? They can say, oh, this is Joe and Joe partners. This whole development, you hell build it. Now you trying to say that I owe you because I fought for you to come here. Kwame Nkrumah came here in the 1930s.
I
right?
know.
They hadn't passed. They
Yeah.
hadn't passed the civil. They hadn't passed the civil right. You know what I mean? Like that's what they want to say. Oh, we pass in.
But
we
there's a
get-
reason they call it civil rights bill. They didn't call it immigration rights bill. But my thing is, let's just say, okay, fair enough. If black people in America, I'm happy.
This bunch of fools, they're uneducated, and I'm sorry to say that. I don't want to be condescending and all of that stuff.
No,
but
don't
anyone
don't
who
stoop
really
low. Don't stoop
listening to
low.
somebody like Tariq and just follow. I mean, what is the character of these type of people? What is the level of education, not the intellect? How do you even start going along with this, get along and just say, oh, I am desperate, so I'm going to watch anything that this guy is doing and take it. And then I'll go on the other YouTube spaces and spew this garbage.
Lack of shame.
You know what I mean? It is that's not you right. You doing the right thing, man. Africans, let me tell y'all, do not let anyone run you over. You don't, you came here on your own accord. Okay?
That's right.
Do not let anyone trot over you. Don't let anyone look down. They're not better than anyone. We are all in the same boat. We're not better than them, and they're not better than us. So this whole idea that you go back, you flee, and all like your country, you doing Uber, that's some silly childish stuff that Tariq
that's what I'm saying. Look at this 1%. Oh, you guys, they're just doing Uber, but somebody that's doing Uber.
Somebody said in the chat that
more
I'm
than
spewing
you.
garbage. Can that person come on the chat and tell me why I'm spewing garbage? Well, what's that person's name? You spewing garbage. Can you get up? Can you get on here? Let's have an intellectual debate. Let's talk and see how it goes. Y'all scared in the comment section right now spewing all this trash. Y'all can't even come over here and engage in intellectual conversation. Come over here. Let's have a conversation. Talking about you speak. You're not making sense.
Yeah, I mean,
garbage right now.
Yeah,
Renee, Richie, come over here. Let's talk.
Renee's not gonna come.
Let's take it from here and see and make it make sense to me. Why all this xenophobia going on? Why? Why do you have the need to attack another black group? We have Asians all over taking out your corner store, bodegas. in New Jersey, New York, in Boston. They're taking over, right? You guys don't have any smoke for those guys. You don't have smoke for the Eastern Indians. They're in Silicon Valley. 60% of the developers are Indians, and the Chinese sprinkle inside of them. And then you go everywhere, you know, continuously being marginalized by other groups. Mexicans are basically running over in Texas, right?
Look, even
I
African
live in
groups here,
Texas.
African groups, we have Africans that have grocery stores for their various countries here in America. You see what I'm saying? So it's a matter of, you know, if you got business is about providing a need. I think most people, they overcomplicate this. You look at what the people need, you provide it. But if you don't have the discipline, the concept of any type of work, this man thinks it's funny to make fun. So he thinks driving an Uber
like it's
is
something wrong.
Yeah, like,
you know what I mean? And then he used that. You know, let me, as a matter of fact, Tariq Nasheed made a video. I can send it to you maybe later, right? He made a video when he was doing his episodes, and he even said that, well, these guys, these white supremacists think we dumb, but they forget to look at the Africans and the black immigrants who come over here and they're doing so what. He said it. It's on record. He said that. Now he's walking back because he see a bag, right? He sees that he can make a bag pandering and becoming like a demagogue. That's exactly what he's trying to do right now, to garner people so that he can make money out of them, right? What happened to the $2 million he raised to build a museum at this point? Meanwhile, there are like more than 20 solid African-American museums in the United States. You know what I'm saying? And then he talking about, oh, I called them and now they don't have the land for me. So you didn't do that research?
You see,
You know,
look at this.
It's just
Look at what KBM wrote. This is very common, you know, here in black areas. Even it says there is an African grocery store in Northeast Portland on MLK Boulevard. You see,
exactly.
so you know
that's
nothing. That's
really
nothing
come
unusual.
over here. My whole word right now is to have Africans like not to be like these people. You can just once you start going back and forth with them, they don't have anything to say, and then it become more like xenophobia. Oh, in South Africa, they kicking the ass of Nigerians, and that's the rebuttal now. Oh, we're not xenophobic. What about South Africa? And they use what about?
Yeah, that's
the whataboutism. Just get real because
I saw someone that wrote, "What about South Africa? What about them?"
Somebody said that in the chat. Oh, they are killing Eastern West Africans in South Africa. What has that got to do, right, with you being xenophobic in America, right? You don't even understand why you're doing that because somebody, a cult leader, is out there in a multi-million-dollar neighborhood in Southern California, right? Living a guy who preaches like black B1 stuff has a white mother-in-law in his house. You know what I'm saying? Like these guys are dumb, man. If I'm gonna preach against like B1, anti-black rhetoric, I wouldn't have a white mother-in-law live in my house. You know what I'm saying? And they call people tethers, and I went through that yesterday.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like they call Candace Owen because Candace Owen doesn't agree with them.
Yeah,
and then
I
they
know.
call her tether.
I
Her
know.
great grandfather came from the island. I'm not sure whether it's Jamaica or one of those islands. And then they call Roland Martin, who basically is like 14th generation Haitian. They call him tether. But they couldn't call Michi X tether. Why? Because she's just spewing an anti-immigrant sentiment. So it's fine. It's all kosher, it's all gravy. You know how dumb this whole thinking level. So guys, man, I'm gonna get off and have somebody else speak, man. But bro, you're doing a great job, man.
Hey,
Like I said, I'm always around, I'm traveling, but anytime I catch you on the live, man, I'm gonna hop on just to encourage my African brothers. But the good thing though, it's not all about the African Americans. It's not all black Americans.
Well, here there's a bunch of
exactly. All my
the
friends
show here
we building here in Africa. We building all over. None of them are this, stupid. You know what I'm saying? So it's not all about. It's just a fringe, uneducated, bums going around the internet spaces just spewing it because they grab into something, hoping that once the harder they go, the more they're gonna get reparations, or the faster they're gonna get reparations. We see, for me,
well,
I'm not really going
I think
against
that
that. Go get your reparations, but leave Africans alone. Nobody's
detractors.
undermining. We don't have the power to undermine you guys. Nobody has the power. We're not going out in Congress and say, hey, don't give them reparations. You are never going to hear Africans saying that. So I don't even know where this hatred is coming from.
It's just the
You know what I'm
online
saying? We don't have
Indians.
the power to garner any collective movement which is going to seriously undermine your cause. So guys, educate yourself, my African American brothers. You can call yourself FBA, ADOS. Now they call it, the pretendians, all of them.
The Indians.
Africans are not here to undermine you. We are here building with you guys. We are in the same boat. Matter of fact, we do things together before y'all started this foolish movement. So please go right ahead and get your reparations. Fine, we want you to get it, but take your dumbass, take our names off your dumbass mouth, please. Because we're gonna come back too.
Thank you, Ashanti. You said it best.
They when they kicked back, he didn't know how to go about it, and he turned to jokes. He went back to his old flex days. You know what I'm saying? So, man, we are one. Please, please, please. Nobody hates y'all. We're not trying to undermine you. We want things to be all right, but don't go out and start making xenophobic arguments and stuff like that. I wish y'all well. Get your reparations, because at the end of the day, it's going to be collectively better for the entire Black race. And stop this foolishness going on, my man.
All right.
So,
Thank you,
man, I'm a bounce, bro. So
Thank you.
I'm going to step back.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's bringing us towards the end of tonight's show. It's been great. I hope you learned from it, and because I've learned quite a bit. So before I let you go, let's play our usual closing outro music. And please make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Until next time, peace.
Solo tú me amas cuando quieres juguete. Yo no todo te espero, por falla vete. Ese cobre yo se lo recete. Soy muy feliz a distancia. Yo no aguanto tu fragancia.